Hello, welcome back to Premier League Dad. How are you all doing? My name is Kee. We are live for West Ham against Chelsea. Looking forward to this one tonight. I've been looking forward to it all week actually because I really don't know what to expect. It feels like West Ham are gonna have to step up after that performance from the other day against Sunderland. Graham Potter's giving his interview now before the game. He looks relatively confident. Looks like they might have a little bit of a spring in the step. I mean, look, they're going to have to put a show on tonight at the London Stadium. Otherwise, look, they might get booed off here. Chelsea didn't give a great account of themselves. Let's be honest. They didn't give a great account of themselves against Palace, I thought. So I don't know, what do we make of this one? Let me know, put your predictions in the chat, let me know what you're thinking. Nick Knack, what about 8th or lower? Sorry, we're doing a poll on YouTube, at the minute. Basically asking, where do we think Chelsea are going to finish this season? If you're on YouTube, you can already see this, but where do we think Chelsea are going to finish this season? Are they going to be competing for the title? Should they expect to be finishing first? Is it just a title challenge? Is it second or third? Is it just 4th and no higher? That's where I've got them finishing. 4th and no higher. Can't see them going any higher than that. Or actually, do you think they might struggle again? They only finished in 4th on the very, very last day of the season last year. They could have finished as low as 7th. So is it possible that Chelsea finish maybe 5th, 6th or 7th and just maybe get in the Conference League or the Europa League again? You know, what do we think? Let me know where you're at with that one. Let me know what you're thinking. I've just realised I didn't put the shirt back last night. So I'm going to have to put the shirt back. Nick Nark, hi Key, how's it going? Chimey, good to see you, Chimey. Nick Nark, it'll be a miracle if West Ham come away with anything tonight. I think I tend to agree, to be honest. I think I tend to agree with you on that one. It's going to be a rough old night for West Ham. But I want to hear your thoughts on whether or not they actually can, I suppose, get it done. Can they get anything from tonight and make this a little bit more of a standout game? A standout performance, let's call it. Yeah, it sort of works, I guess. We'll put it there for now. Reese's Footy Feed, 0-3 Chelsea, I think. But no pressure on them. And sometimes West Ham's best displays are against superior sides. That is very true, Reese. Very, very true. Superior sides and at home as well. It always feels like home advantage does play a big part for West Ham, in my opinion. But let me know what your thoughts are in this one. I'm not ignoring your TikTok, I promise. I am just coming through, checking the chat on TikTok. You may also have noticed I've updated all of the next 2 weeks of schedule on YouTube. We're going to be watching some National League. Jake, thank you very much for the gifts, Jake. I really appreciate it, mate. Thank you. What we saying? Chelsea are going to hammer the Hammers. Unknown FX not looking forward to Monday night. That guy Miles, my guy, you going live is the notification your community waits for. That's very nice of you to say, mate. AFC Harv, hello mate, how are you? I'm very good, thank you, Harvey. How are you doing? Clarky, is that Rob Green in the middle, Key? It is, yeah. It's Rob Green and Jamie Redknapp. Don't really seem to be although I'm sure Rob Green played for Chelsea for a spell, didn't he? Didn't he go there towards the end of his career? Let me just confirm this, because that could be absolute. That could be one of those things I've just made up in my head. No, he did. He never played for the club, but he did. He was contracted to Chelsea. That was his final ever club. I knew he'd gone there and sat on the bench for a year or so. So technically, we could say that Rob Green is a Chelsea representative here on the panel. And Jamie Redknapp, well, he's just kind of generic Londoner. He's not really a Londoner, is he? He's not even a Londoner. Jamie Redknapp, he's South Coast, isn't he? Bournemouth, Southampton. Just gets about a bit, Jamie Redknapp. Liverpool fans, we don't claim him. He was a captain of Liverpool, and we don't claim him. Luke Etherington says 4th place for Chelsea. AFC Harv says 4th. Taylor H thinks Chelsea can win the league this season. Mr. Luke Etherington, Fulham or Man United on Sunday? I think that's going to be a draw, that. Can't see past United getting something out of it. But I think Fulham, they're just bloody hard to beat at Craven Cottage. Arsenal dropped points there last season. Liverpool dropped points. Well, we got beat, didn't we? We got beat last season there. Yeah, tough place to go, Craven Cottage. So I think, yeah, underestimate Fulham at your peril this weekend for Man United. Evening, Jake. Good to see you. I'm just catching up on everything again. Luke Etherington, when is the international break? The international break is the end of August, basically. So I think I've got... Yeah, so the final game of this Premier League sort of round before the international break is the 31st of August. And then on Monday, there's no games of football pretty much anywhere in the world. So we're going to struggle for a game on Monday. We are going to be scraping the barrel. I'm sure we will get one. But Monday, the 1st of September, we're going to be looking around for... That's going to be one of our first really, really niche games of the season on this channel. It's going to be something like Latvia or Iceland or Finland or somewhere like that. We'll watch some mad random game on that Monday, 1st of September. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to be doing National League. So we've got Brackley Town against Carlisle United. Brackley got promoted from National League North. Carlisle got relegated out of League 2, so we're going to be watching that one. We're also going to be watching Morecambe. Morecambe, who've just got reinstated, of course, as well. Morecambe just reinstated in the Football League, so they've just got their licence back. They've been taken over by the Punjab Warriors. They've appointed Ashvir Singh Johal as the manager, and they are taking on Forest Green Rovers, Robbie Savage's Forest Green Rovers. So we're going to be doing those two National League games on the Tuesday and the Wednesday, and then on the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday, the Sunday, that's when the international games start. So yes, we probably will be doing international games. Taylor will be doing... I think Wales are playing Kazakhstan. I can't remember. There's a few others. Wales, Kazakhstan's one of them. We'll do them. Yeah, we'll do the international games. Of course we will. Score prediction for tonight. I'm going to go 3-0 Chelsea. I think they're going to walk these. As Reese has just gone 3-0 as well before me. But I think they're going to absolutely stroll past West Ham, sadly. I wish that weren't the case. I really hope we get a good game tonight. But sadly, no, I think we're going to struggle. Thank you for sharing the live, Harvey. Thank you. Appreciate that, mate. If you can share, if you can like, if you can tap the screen, let's try and get to 1,000 likes before kick-off if we can. Bags of time to get to 1,000 likes, but if you can get me up to 1,000 likes before kick-off, let's try. That'll be really helpful. Thank you. Jake, money. Prem Dad's funny because he thinks we'll sell. Listen, it's all starting to fall apart now. All these Newcastle journalists are coming out and saying after the game on Monday, once Liverpool and Newcastle's done, it's all gonna fall apart. They're gonna get rid of him. Daz Reynolds, do you think we see Bradley back on Monday? I don't know. I don't think so. I think we could try something new. Listen, Arne Slotter's played Curtis Jones at right back before. I think he's played. He could be tempted to put someone like Sobersley there, someone who can get up and down. But Joe Gomez hasn't really been able to train. Obviously, we know that Frimpong can't play, and we also know that Conor Bradley's been out as well. So Bradley, Gomez, and Frimpong touch and go. I think he might end up putting Curtis Jones there. I don't know why. Right, what am I missing? Clarkey, Jamie Redknapp's cousin, played for West Ham. Frankie Lampard, he did, yeah, of course. Joe, how's it going? Good to see you. John Super Lee Tomlin is the assistant at Morecambe. What a guy. Well, I didn't know this until today, but you know who the manager of Carlisle United is? The manager of Carlisle United is none other than Mark Sparky Hughes. I love that. So Mark, that's what we're going to be watching. We're going to be watching Mark Hughes of Carlisle United, and we're also going to be watching Robbie Savage, the manager of Forest Green Rovers. So that'll be a giggle, if nothing else. Fernie says Eminem or M&M's. Eminem. I don't think I've ever had M&M's, actually, believe it or not. Former Manchester United player, yes he is, Wales as well. Joe, we're in talks with bloody Soloff now. He's not a bad signing, Alexander Sørloth. He really isn't a bad signing. If you got him, I think you could get worse. But yeah, Sørloth's not a bad signing if you do end up with him. But I think you'd be much better off getting Strand Larsen and Wissa. Daz Reynolds, prediction for Spurs and Little City. Spurs and City this weekend. I think City win that one. Again, relatively comfortably, maybe 2-1. Obi-Wan Kenobi, what's your thoughts on United? Looking at Lamans. Very, very good signing. We've watched him on this channel a couple of times now, Senna Lamans. Watched him against Union Saint-Gilloise against... for Antwerp against Union Saint-Gilloise. We watched that the other night, or the other week it was actually, and he was brilliant. He's like a Courtois regen, Senna Lamans. He's a very, very good player. And Man United will do very well if they get him for 20 million quid. That's some going for United. Yeah, it's very decent. I still think, look, he's still going to be pretty raw. He isn't terrific with the ball at his feet. But he's great in the air, I think, in terms of shot stopping and command of his area. He's a very big lad. Still very young as well, so lots of room for improvement. I think he'll do really, really well. So yes, I honestly think we're signing the next Courtois. That's what, before all this rumour and stuff, mate. That's what I was calling him. So I'd be wrong to go back on it now. As a Liverpool fan, I think you're getting a very, very good goalkeeper there. I'm sad to admit it. Joel says, I would be happy with Jackson and Wissa because Wolves won't sell Strand Larsen. Yeah, Nicholas Jackson. I think Bayern Munich aren't going to be able to get him, so I think Nicholas Jackson to Newcastle makes a lot of sense. Mukhtar, Spurs are going to pack and park the bus at the same time. Difficult match for City. I'd still expect City to get it done. Obi-Wan Kenobi, it's either him or the Portuguese goalkeeper Costa. Yeah, Diogo Costa from Porto. Again, can't see United going that big for him. He's someone that will cost an awful lot of money. So Lamans, I think, will probably end up being the one that you end up with. Lisha, have you put anything on the bookies? Well, I've backed Chelsea draw no bet tonight. Fatboy 007, they're just Spursy like Everton, thinking they're a big club going nowhere fast with Moyes. Oh, goodness me. Luke Etherington, what's your Liverpool score against Newcastle Monday? I've gone 2-1, mate. I think we do just pinch it. Morgan Rogers is the GOAT. What are your predictions for tomorrow's games? So tomorrow, I think did I go 3-1 City? Have I just said 3-1? I think I did. Yeah, so 3-1 City in the early game. I think this one will be 3-0 to Chelsea. I'm backing lots of goals, even though recently it's not exactly been a goal fest an awful lot for for what we've had. So no, I'm gonna go for City and Spurs 3-1 to City. I think I've gone Bournemouth and Wolves 2-0 Bournemouth. Brentford Villa I think will be 1-1. Burnley Sunderland, I think I'm going to go 2-0 Sunderland. And Arsenal Leeds, I'll go 4-0 Arsenal. Yeah, that makes about right. That sounds about right. And then Sunday, I would go Palace Forest. I think that's high scoring. I go 2-2. Everton Brighton, 2-0 Brighton. And I think Fulham United 1-1. Yeah, so there you go. That's all of our goals predictions for this weekend. Tyler Dibbling, here we go. Yeah, Tyler Dibbling to Everton. What do we make of that? 42 million quid apparently. But do you know what? The other thing as well to factor into this is that Southampton kind of had Everton over a barrel a little bit, didn't they, with Tyler Dibbling? They said that they wanted, I think it was something like 20% or 25%. It was a big sell-on fee. They wanted a big old sell-on fee to let him go, plus this massive fee up front. And I just wonder whether or not Everton have kind of relented after all of the pressure from the fans. Quite a lot of the fans have been giving Everton been giving the management an awful lot of stick for not quite getting deals done, not supporting David Moyes. Even David Moyes himself has come out in the press and said that he's not too happy with the lack of activity. And I do just wonder whether or not they've looked at it and gone, we can't afford to not do this deal. Like, if we want to create the perception of a club that's going places, we want to sign good young talent, we can't be missing out on this lad for the sake of £3 million. And I do just wonder whether Southampton have held firm and gone, if you want him, we are happy to keep him, but if you want him, it's 40 odd million plus this massive sell-on fee. And if Everton have relented on that, then it might just make the deal very, very difficult to benefit from. Because even if they sell him for, let's say they sell him for 80 million in years to come, if they end up giving away like 25% of that, let's say that's 20 million quid, that's 60 million and that means they've only benefited for the sake of 18 million quid. And that's if they sell him for nearly double. So it just feels like it could get a little bit messy for Everton. Harrison Derby, it was originally 45 mil plus 5 million and a 25% sell-on clause. What's your Arsenal score against Leeds? Sorry, John Steve, do you upload any content to YouTube? I do, mate. Yes, I'm live on YouTube right now, so you can go and check me out on YouTube. It's a slightly different view, to be honest, to the one you see on TikTok. We've got a more professional setup. We've got a proper camera, and we've got, a proper mic. It's better audio over on YouTube, certainly. And yes, it all looks a little bit different on YouTube. Vincent Basketball, what is your score prediction for this game? I've gone for 3-0 to Chelsea. Harrison Derby, the sell-on clause is only on profit. But even if it's only on profit, that's still a good 10 million quid. If it's, let's say they sold him for 80 million, it's nearly 10 million quid, isn't it? Yeah. Don't know, it just makes it a little bit risky. 3-star Reds, here we go. Big Ange, new Forest gaffer, the big headline. Never thought I would have to consider this morning when I woke up. Certainly sounding like it might happen. A total shock. Yeah, Nuno, that's another thing we haven't discussed yet on this live. Nuno Santo having a big old meltdown with Marinakis, the owner of Nottingham Forest. Apparently, again, the rumour doing the rounds, the rumour on all the socials is actually not that he's fallen out with Marinakis, it's that he's fallen out with Edu, the sporting director. And if he's fallen out with Edu, he's put Marinakis in maybe a difficult position because he's then having to pick sides, isn't he? And seemingly he's leant towards Edu, which is the difficult thing for Marinakis as the owner. I would have hoped he'd have stuck with his manager that's got him into Europe, that's dragged his team up the table. Jax, I see what you mean. Very professional. Cheers, mate. Thank you. It's a little bit more so than TikTok, certainly, isn't it? But yeah, I'm a little bit unsure as to what to make of this whole Forest thing. Fatboy 007, what do you think in the Derby v Bristol City game? I've gone for Bristol City in that one. Again, double chance. I always do double chance. I never, ever, ever go more so than that. But I've gone double chance, Bristol City or draw in that one. And I do fancy him to do that, to be honest. Bristol City have been terrific this season. Derby, they've not been great, have they? So I'd be disappointed if Derby ended up getting something out of that one, especially if you were Bristol. AJ Valdez, hey bro, how goes it today? It goes very, very well, AJ Valdez. Good to see you, mate. You've been appearing regularly on the channel these last week or so. So yeah, good to have you, mate. Good to have you back on. Hopefully all is well with you too. Gustas, do you think João Pedro captain on FPL is stupid? No, it's not stupid. Not at all. Not stupid. I think... Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, let's have a look. Let's have a look and see what the lineups are tonight, because we have had a slightly later start than normal. So let's go through the lineups while we've got them. So for West Ham, by the way, if you knew it, thank you for the follow, Paul Beastall. Thank you for the follow, mate. Appreciate that. If you're new around here, by the way, my name's Kee. We watch football every single day on this channel. Give us a like, give us a follow. Takes you 2 seconds, massively helps me. Leave a comment, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know your predictions for this one. If you go into the schedule on my YouTube, you'll see all of the games we're live for over the next couple of weeks. We're watching National League, Serie A, Premier League, obviously, Championship. Going to be watching a bit of everything. Might even catch a little bit of La Liga in there as well. Dixie Murray, good to see you, mate. West Ham, here we go. West Ham, I've got Hermanson in goal. Jean-Claire Todibo at the back with Kilman and a Gerd. And then it's Wan-Bissaka right back. One of my signings of the season so far, Juve at left back. I think he's terrific. And then it's Ward-Prowse, Souček and Lucas Paqueta in midfield. And then it's Bowen and Füllkrug up front. For Chelsea, it's Sanchez in goal, Cucurella, Chalobah, Adrabayo and Gusto at the back. Midfield 3 of Caicedo, Fernandes and Palmer. Don't like that. And then it's João Pedro off the left with the lap centre forward. I'm a little bit disappointed with that. Every time I see Cole Palmer in a number 10, I'm doing it. I am taking Cole Palmer out of my FPL side. I'm taking him out of it. Do you know why? Because if you keep playing him in the number 10, he's going to have an absolutely shocking season. He is not a number 10. Kyle H, big Bristol City fan myself. Got a lot of videos about them that I watch in private. Nice. Lovely. Good for you. Says Tyler Diblin, here we go to Everton just now. Thoughts? Great player. Yeah, very, very good player. Talented young player. Everton, they've done a decent job there. It's just whether or not you could say it's value, I guess. Still going to take him a year or two minimum to get up to speed in the Premier League. But he offers a little bit of pace, a little bit of something different off the bench. Right, what are we saying? Anthony Cole is a number 20, isn't he? He's not a number 20, but he's better off the wide left. Certainly, I would put him wide left or wide right. Definitely don't be putting him in the hole in that number 10. It doesn't make any sense to me. The guy says Bowen, 2 shots. VIP free. Okay. Joe, he played number 10 when he got the crazy scoring record 2 seasons ago. No, he didn't. He's always played off the right-hand side. I don't think he ever played. Listen, for me anyway, he's always been drifting in off the right. That's where he's always done his best stuff. I don't think he is a number 10, really. In spite of... He looks like a number 10. He looks like a number 10, and he does pick up those spaces. But he's always best coming in off that side. Whenever he's played number 10, whenever I've watched him starting in that number 10, he's always been marked out the game. Oh, he does always drift to the middle, though. I'll give you that. Lisha, the thing with Palmer is he needs to play out wide because he loves to drift in. And if he's at the 10, he'd feel uncomfortable. That's it. That's what I'm saying. When he starts in the 10, he gets lost in the game. He gets marked out of it. He doesn't really know what positions to pick up. And he just ends up anonymous. He might as well not be on the frigging pitch. But if he starts out wide, if he's in that position that kind of Neto occupies, they don't really pick him up, and he kind of pulls off the fullback and gets in that little dangerous position there. And he's so good at it. So good. 3-Star Reds has over 170 million spent on signings on some top quality players. Nuno said the other week he wanted players and Marinakis delivered. So given you're a Forest fan then, 3-Star Reds, are you of the opinion that Nuno can't really have any complaints? Do you think he's been backed and he needs to kind of put up or shut up, I guess, and kind of move on with this? Is he kicking up too much of a stink? The guy says it's going to be 2-0 or 3-0 tonight. Kyle H says Chelsea 3-1. Yeah, I think 3-0, 3-1. I think it's going to be goals in this one, I'm hoping. Charmy, is Neto starting? He is, yes. Yeah, Neto is wide right, João Pedro wide left, Palmer in the 10, and Delap up front in the 9. Scouse and Proud, good to see you, mate. How's it going, Robert? All housework done now. Time for a cup of coffee and watch you react to the football, as per usual. Nice, Robert. Good to see you, man. Scouse and Proud, Tyler Diblin. What are your thoughts on him? Good player. I really like Tyler Diblin. I've said all along I think he's going to be a fantastic signing for Everton. Just the price, innit? Lisha, Key, you might play a lot of footy, but do you ever play like five-a-side? I do, mate. Well, I say I do. I haven't played five-a-side now, I would say, in probably about 12 months. About 12 months. I used to play. The thing is, when you move, like, I've moved earlier and stuff, so a lot of the people who I used to play five-a-side with, I'm not there anymore. And, yeah, it's just trying to find people local who I can go and play five-a-side with again. It's a lot harder once you get into your 30s. Not just in terms of like the physical side of it, but just in terms of like, does anyone fancy a game? You can't really do. Usually, when you was 12, 13, 14, 15, whatever, you could grab a ball, go and knock on next door and say, "You coming out? Let's go and play. Let's go and play on the street. Let's go and play, on the field or whatever. We'll go and have a knockabout." Can't really do that now. Just look a bit creepy if you do. Scouse and Proud, hopefully be good. Yeah, he'll be a good signing for Everton. But yeah, honestly, Lisha, I do really like five-a-side. I've just not had the opportunity to play it, honestly, in about 12 months or so. Steve McNair, hey all, how's it going? Got the under 4.5 in the Bayern game. Wow, that's a bold move. Under 4.5 in any Bundesliga game always feels risky. Steve McNair, will Chelsea be playing better than they did versus Palace? Well, we hope so. We hope so. We're going to hopefully we see goals anyway. Robert Sorloth has fell out with Simeone and wants to leave. The price is 35 mil. Is that worth it for us, as we are interested? Well, I think he's 30 next year, isn't he? He's certainly getting on, Sorloth. He's not a young man anymore. So I don't know. I think Sorloth. I think he's he'd be a good signing for Newcastle, but I would also say you could probably do better. This year, I feel like you're a fox in the box like Torres. Nah, well, I probably was a little bit when I was a bit younger, but probably more. I'm the metronome now. I'm the Modric, sitting deep, let the others do the running. And I can knock it about. I'm good with the old one-touch stuff. One-touch stuff, that's what it's about. Charmy, street football was the best. Street football died when Ronaldinho retired. Yeah. Playing Kirby on the front and... Well, we called it Spot, but I think it's been called Wally in other parts of the country. I don't know if you're familiar with Wally or Spot. We called it Spot, anyway. It's just where you hit the ball against the wall and you'd send them up to the other end of the street, and they had to try and hit. It was absolutely brilliant for accuracy, long distance accuracy. Lisha, you're a lefty, aren't you? Absolutely, I am. Can you tell that? Always a bit weird lefties, aren't they? Maybe that's why I can tell. 3-star Reds. A few months ago, before he signed his new contract, he was being linked with a return to the Saudi League. After today's presser report saying Nuno wants Forest to sack him, hence his comments today. Now that would be a little interesting subplot. They're just trying to push him. They're just trying to push him out. Or he's trying to push himself out, I guess. Dr. Hutchie, one-touch Walsey. Is that what you called it? We called it Spot, where I was from. Yeah. But I know there was a few people who I used to... Like, when you go on holiday and stuff, and you'd be like, oh, do you fancy a game of Spot? And they'd be like, Spot? That's Wally, that, mate. What are you on about? Steve McNair, I like that Palmer 2-shot. Surely he has to make more of an effort today, just out of pride. I don't think it's necessarily an effort thing with Palmer. I just don't think he suits being in that number 10. But we have got 20 minutes or so to kick off here. You do look like a lefty. I am, yeah. Good set piece taker. One touch, pass and move. Yeah. It's all good. I says, by the way, Liverpool right side will be a problem after Salah leaves because who will fill his shoes? Well, according to lots of known sources today, Liverpool have already identified Michael Olise from Bayern. Michael Olise's got a release clause, and apparently that's already queued up now. Michael Olise coming to Liverpool as the Mo Salah replacement, whenever that ends up being. Win Malfe, next week you're doing Club Bruges Rangers. I am, yes. Yeah, I'm doing the return leg of Rangers. Lisha more than a Casemiro than a Bruno then. I would say more like a Mainu. If you're going to compare me to a Man United midfielder. Can do the footing stuff, but yeah, maybe a touch more Bruno. I'm Alexis McAllister, not Gravenberch. Or Szoboszlai. The guy says I've got Enzo's shot on target in this one. That's not bad. Jackson plus Wissa equals Demba Ba and Cisse. That was an absolutely brilliant front two, wasn't it? Steve McNair says, what's going on with Salah? Why does he need a replacement? Well, I think if they're talking in part about him going to the AFCON in January, we might need a replacement per se in January, depending on what happens with him. He might go and get injured. You never know what happens. And Olise has been queued up for that next summer. But there is rumours that Mo Salah has turned down a move to Saudi last summer. I don't believe this for 1 second, by the way, but this is the rumour doing the rounds, that Mo Salah has turned down a move to Saudi last summer, signed only a 2-year deal at Liverpool, and expects to leave for a very decent transfer fee next year. And if that does happen, if he does end up going to Saudi and Liverpool get a big old fee for him when he's 30, nearly 35, I don't know how I'd feel about that, because I still think Mo Salah's got like 3 or 4 years at the very highest level left. The guy looks after himself so well. I'd keep hold of him. I think he's going to be like Cristiano Ronaldo. He'll play forever. Play into his 40s. And you're not going to find too many better than him. Dr. Hudgy, I think West Ham will win tonight. You heard it here first. Alex Macklin, how are you? See, Nuno might be leaving. Unbelievable. Yeah, it's we've just been talking about that, mate. He's apparently he's leaving, or he's trying to force them to sack him. Alex, do you still think we get Isak? Yes, absolutely. Liverpool 100% get Isak. I am not even remotely concerned about that. Liverpool definitely get Isak. Definitely. Robert 14, I think we'll win 3-2 stoppage time on Monday. Jacob Ramsey winner. Hey, I won't put it past you. I don't think you will, but again, I keep coming back to the same thing I said the other day. I firmly believe that if you said to Liverpool, let's say we forgot all of the whole Alexander Isak saga, let's say that never happened. If you'd have said to most Newcastle fans and most Liverpool fans, you're going to have to play, but Isak won't, like Liverpool and Newcastle will play, but Isak won't be in the side for whatever reason. Liverpool fans would have gone, we'll beat them. And Newcastle fans probably would have gone, it's going to be so difficult to try and win that one. So I imagine it'll be the same sort of thing tonight. Steve McNair, what do you reckon the transfer fee would be if Al Nassr or somebody like that comes in? For Salah next year, I would still think it's going to be about 70, 80 million quid. Yeah, it'd be a big old fee. Callum the Red says Chelsea win 1-0 tonight. I'm just having a look at the old West Ham fan park here outside the London Stadium. Alex Macklin, see Man United might be getting a goalkeeper. Yes, Senna Lamens from Antwerp. Again, very good goalkeeper. Kudus edits 4-0. 4-0 tonight to Chelsea or 4-0 to West Ham. The guy says Bayern to score in the first half, please. Have we got any other games going on? Obviously, other than Bayern. PSG against Angers. Derby and Bristol City is another one. Obviously, Bayern and Leipzig. And, Betis and Alaves, of course. Yeah, Betis, Alaves. Forgot about that. So, yeah, plenty of footy on tonight. He says, I'd say Salah goes for a 90 at least, especially if he goes outside of Europe. Next 7 fixtures for West Ham. It's Chelsea at home. They've then got Wolves away, Forest, Spurs, Palace, Everton and Arsenal. Oh, that's a difficult old run there for Graham Potter. And actually, I would imagine if he doesn't pick up a win... he's done. Graham Potter's going to get sacked before the end of September, I'm telling you. Callum the Red. Goldbridge is doing Bayern Leipzig. Good luck to him. Good luck to him. Robert 14, how many more years do you think Fabian Schär and Dan Burn have left at Newcastle for one and the rest? To be honest, I don't think they've got many. Dan Burn and Fabian Schär, they're both in the 30s now, aren't they? Jake Curtin, I have a fiver on Amarin being sacked by Xmas. That's a good shout. That's a very good shout. Steve McNair, I figured it would be some crazy, ungodly number just because they can in Saudi, like 150. No, not in his mid-30s, mate. They're not going to pay that much for him. Listen, they're flush. They're not stupid. They're still going to pay reasonably close to what is kind of European value would be. Callum, I'll tell Goldbridge you won't have a straightener. You what? Tell him I'll have him a race. I'll have him a race. I'll deck him in a race. Robert 14, have a race in our slippers. Winner gets the Bundesliga rights. Steve McNair says this is not Bundesliga, Dad. I know, yeah. Couldn't give a toss what he's watching. Bundesliga. He's on video saying the Bundesliga's crap, isn't he? Have you seen that? Signed that agreement with the Bundesliga, and then like 2 seconds later, someone showed a video where he's like, "Bundesliga's a shit league anyway." Callum the Red, was you part of the firm? I was the firm. Basically, do you know Green Street Hooligans, the movie, the Green Street Hooligans, West Ham, based on my life. That basically. Pedri Lover says, why are you not streaming the Bundesliga? I know, mate. I won the rights. But I was just like, can't be bothered. Rather watch West Ham Chelsea. Fight me. Kyle H, I got a notification from Google for that match earlier, and it said PSG versus SCO. I was thinking, I didn't even know Scotland were playing tonight. Yeah, SCO is a weird thing for Angers, isn't it? A weird acronym. Robert, have you seen the videos of Ronaldo saying the Saudi League is bigger than League 1? I mean, that's not really surprising. Ultimately, he's not got to say that, but he's invested in saying that because he's going to get paid based on the growth of the Saudi League. So it helps him, doesn't it, to start of push that stuff. Callum the Red, the Urchins. Right, we've got 12 minutes to kick off here. Steve McNair, he's trying to start the Kane to United movement somehow, some way. God bless him. Kane? They've just signed Sesko and they're trying to tell us he's the best thing since sliced bread. Why do they now want Harry Kane? I thought Sesko was going to be the next, next Pichichi winner. Thought he was gonna win it all. He's the next Ballon d'Or winner. Why do you want Harry Kane? Can't make their mind up, these Mancs, can they? Can't make their mind up. Robert 14, do you think Botman and Tiao and the long-term replacements for Burn and Shah? No. No, Botman. Again, Botman can't stay fit, can he? Tiao, possibly, yeah. Burn and Shah, short-term. Botman, I think they'll probably try and move him on because he's just not really... He's not able to stay fit. That's the bottom line, isn't it, really? They're not able to keep him fit. So, yeah, what can they do? Thank you for those that have already liked and shared, by the way. If you are new around here, my name's Kee. I watch football matches every single day on this channel. Mostly over on YouTube as well, by the way. It looks slightly different on YouTube. We've got a more professional setup, different camera, better audio quality. If you want to go and check it out over on YouTube, Premier League Dad, go and have a look. And we're live 3 times tomorrow, 3 times on Saturday, 3 times on Sunday. For all the Premier League games, plus a Serie A match. We're doing Juventus against Parma on Sunday night. Monday, obviously, we're doing the big Liverpool against Newcastle game at St James's Park. That's going to be a good laugh. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, we're back to the European games. We're doing on... Oh, no, Tuesday we've got the Carabao Cup, haven't we? Tuesday we've got Bournemouth against Brentford. Wednesday, I am doing Rangers against Club Brugge in the second leg. Thursday, we're going to do Palace away at Fredrikstad. And then we're back to Friday night footy next week. I think Friday night footy next week is... Oh, it's Leicester. It's Leicester against Birmingham next week. So there you go. Good footy on in the next week on this channel. Go and give us a like, give us a follow. Make sure you follow on TikTok as well, but make sure you're getting over to YouTube and following and sharing and liking all that good stuff. AJ Valdez up the Reds. Finners Matty, I thought you were doing West Ham v Wolves. Well, I was doing Wolves against West Ham, and then last night, someone said, why are you doing Wolves against West Ham? Bournemouth against Brentford will be a much better game. And then a West Ham fan was in the chat, and a Wolves fan were in the chat, and they were both saying, yeah, God, don't watch us, we're terrible. We're awful. It's going to be an awful game. Don't watch us. I promise you it'll be terrible. You're better off watching someone else. So I kind of put it to the vote. And I asked people last night, which one would you rather watch? Bournemouth against Brentford or Wolves against West Ham? They are the 2 all Premier League ties in the Carabao Cup next week. And the people voted. The people spoke. They said they wanted to watch Bournemouth against Brentford. So I changed it. I deleted the thumbnail and I smashed it in. I put it in. So we're now watching Bournemouth against Brentford next week. AJ Valdez, are they really going to sack Nuno Santo? I think it looks like it, yeah. Certainly looks like it. It's a really mad turn of events, that one, isn't it? I don't really know how they're going to justify it, I guess. Robert, have you seen over social media Aston Villa fans are turning on Jacob Ramsey over social media, and Mings and McGinn started defending him, telling them to stop? No, I haven't seen that. I saw Mings and McGinn did say nice things about him when he left, but I wasn't aware that Villa fans had turned on him. What have Villa fans turned on him for? Reese's Footy Feed, 4th time lucky watching with you tonight. The best thing about those 3 previous ones was your company. There's been about 10 chances in all games combined. Oh my goodness me. It's you then! It's not me, Reese, it's you. You're the bloody jinx. Listen, mate. Hopefully we do get some goals tonight, because Christ, we've had some bad luck recently, haven't we? Oh, here we go. Super 6. £1 million till it's won. Right, I need to get my Super 6 in. When does it start? I've got time, haven't I? It doesn't start tonight. Get your Super 6 done. £1 million. £1 million. If I win it, I'll split it with one of you. I'll do a draw. And I'll split it. Finners Matty, I bet West Ham versus Wolves will be a better game now that you changed it. Oh, listen... You know that that's going to be the case. Christ, it doesn't matter what game I pick. It's always going to be, whatever that game is, it's always going to be the other one's better. I've got the worst luck. Well, I have with picking games anyway. AJ Valdez, I wonder if it's true. Forest will look to Ange Postecoglou. Well, Ange Postecoglou is one name being mentioned. Thiago Motta is another one, of course, who had a really, really good spell at Bologna, breaking them into, European competition. Did very well. Didn't do so well at Juve, but Thiago Motta, still a young coach. I think he would be one they would look at. Roger Schmidt. Roger Schmidt, of course, from his time at Benfica. Maybe someone like Marco Rose, ex-RB Leipzig. Edin Terzic as well. Terzic from Borussia Dortmund would be another one to sort of consider. Domenico Tedesco again. Domenico Tedesco, another one that maybe is a name that people forget about. He was ex-manager of Belgium. Did very well at Schalke, really, really young, up-and-coming coach. Esteval comes in for Parma. See, that's even worse then, isn't it? Because Esteval is not a number 10. So again, why is he trying to foist wide players into a number 10? AJ Valdez says, I can't play Super 6. Oh, because you're back in the US. Oh, that sucks. Get a VPN, mate. Get a VPN, you can play it then. Steve McNair, got a UFC bet for you overnight at the fights in China. Okay, go on, fire away. Fire away, I'm game for that. Robert, £10 each to everyone to buy a Freddo key. Christ, what size Freddo are you getting? Callum the Red, this game's going to be dead, isn't it now? Listen, Callum, have the faith. Have faith. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Oh, are they wearing the black away kit? I'm sick of this. Every time I pick the wrong away kit. I thought they'd be in the blue number, but seemingly not. They're going for the old black Total 90 kit. Right, well, I'll change that then. There you go. Chelsea are in their all black number. Steve McNair says, Aljo, Sterling, ML, and Zhang, Ming Yang, ML, co-main and main event fights. Right, so we're going for Aljo, Sterling, and Zhang Ming Yang. So if I back them two, do you have to back them in any way? Is it like win outright, or can you? Is it no DQ, or like what? Ladder match. How does it work? What am I betting on? Reese's Footy Field, Palmer injured in the warm-up. Sadly, the game has more stinker alarm bells. Yeah, listen, that's my FPL down the Swanee there, to be honest. George, is Palmer out injured? Yep, George Palmer has gone off the pitch injured. He's killed us all in FPL. We're all struggling now. Oh, scratch me nose. I don't know how I've managed that. You see that? I don't know if you can see that. Got a right old scratch on my nose. I don't know how I've managed it. Steve McNair says Kane just missed the opener in the Bayern against RB Leipzig game. I've got Bayern or draw in that one. Bayern or draw, 1-6 goals. Alright, well, Cole Palmer is sat on the bench, chilling. And here's the teams. Let's go through them. In goal for West Ham, it's Hermanson, the new goalkeeper. They have got Wan-Bissaka, right back. They have got Agerd, Kilman, and Todibo, Jean-Claude Todibo at the back. On the left, they've got one of my favourite signings of the season so far, Malik Diouf. El Hadji Malik Diouf, sorry to give him his full title. In midfield, they've gone with James Ward-Prowse and Thomas Soucek, with Lucas Paquetá in that number 10 position. And then they've got up front two players, Jared Bowen and Nicholas Füllkrug. Torn, nothing serious, walking okay, must have strained something. AJ Valdez, I'm watching on ESPN, all that talk about Mark Goldbridge getting the Bundesliga, but it's only for the UK and Ireland. Absolutely shocking, mate, innit? Shocking. Elise scored, Bayern 1-0 against Leipzig. That's what we wanted. That's a result. Right, Chelsea's lineup is Robert Sanchez in goal. They have got Cucurella on the left. They've got Tosin, Adebayo and Chalobah in the middle, and Malo Gusto on the right. Where's Reece James tonight? In midfield, Enzo Fernandez and Moish Caicedo sitting in front of that front three, Pedro Neto, Estevao and João Pedro. Estevao coming in for Cole Palmer. I imagine Estevao does just drift out to that left-hand side and João Pedro maybe tucks in as the number 10 behind Liam Delap. Chimey, do you think that Musiala won't be the same after his injury? It's so difficult to say, mate, because you never know whether or not a player comes back and he's just like not wanting to risk things. Like Michael Owen always said that, didn't he? Michael Owen was forever saying that it wasn't necessarily that his body didn't let him. It was more the mental side of it. Like, because he tore his hamstring, he didn't want to try and like really open his legs up, if you know what I mean. He didn't really want to try and like really get sprinting because he was always worried that it'd go again. Owen lost a bit of pace, Swifty. Yeah, he did. He absolutely lost a bit of pace. He had to adapt his game after that. But he always talks about the mental side of it with him because he didn't just... It wasn't just the physical aspects, because he absolutely did, lose pace. But it was the fact that he was scared of running in behind, and as a result of that, he stopped playing on the shoulder of the last defender because he knew that if the ball went over the top, he wasn't going to run after it, or he wasn't going to put the same intensity that he used to. Swifty, Shearer did the same after the knee injury. Yeah, very true. Same with Fowler. Fowler was the same, and Ronaldo. Even Ronaldo, the great R9, he was never the same. AJ Valdez, that's the thing with Arsenal. All those players coming back from injury, they're sometimes never the same. That's very true, yeah. I bloody love that Chelsea kit. I hate Chelsea in so many ways, but I love that Chelsea kit. The old Total 90. It's very, very retro. And West Ham against Chelsea. We are underway here at the old Olympic Stadium in East London. AJ Valdez, I reckon Havertz will find it hard coming back. Well, hasn't Havertz done the same knee? Again, I could be wrong on this one, but I'm sure Havertz has... The rumours today was that Havertz has had a scan and he's got bits of bone or bits of cartilage have come loose, and they're kind of loose within his knee, and that's what's causing him the pain, and he's not really got full function of his knee. And if they're not able to, if that is the case, they suspect that's what it is. If that is the case, then the only option is surgery, which would probably rule him out again for much of the season. So it's really unfortunate for Kai Havertz, that one. But apparently it's the same knee. And if it's the same knee he did last year, then that's where it gets chronic, and that's where it starts to become a major issue. The guy says PSG over 1.5 goals. Okay, PSG against Angers tonight. Tommy Mills, opinion on Leeds. I think Leeds are going down, Tommy. I'm sorry to say. I think, listen, Leeds are a good club, but I think even with the signing of Noah Okafor, I don't really see Leeds. I saw you against Everton. I assume you're a Leeds fan. Saw Leeds against Everton the other day, and I thought Leeds were pretty terrible. I saw two sides there that were probably going to be at the foot of the table come the end of the season. Anton Stack is magic. Yeah, look, Anton Stack is a very good player. It's only goals, mate. For what it's worth, I think the rest of your team is very, very good. Lucas Perry, I think, is a really solid goalkeeper. I look at Longstaff, I look at, Bijol to come in, Bornau. There's some good, defensive players in there for Leeds. I just think attacking-wise, you're in trouble. You're in trouble, Leeds, because you've got Willie Nonto, doesn't score. You got Dan James, doesn't score. You got Joel Pirro, doesn't score. Dominic Calvert-Lewin doesn't score. So... I look at Nemecha. Nemecha might get the odd couple here and there, but he's not going to keep you in the division, and that's the problem for Leeds. It's just goals. Tone, remember Henrik Larsson breaking his leg in the Champions League and was back within 7 months, faster, better. Strange how it affects people differently. Yeah, that's true. And again, there have been others. There's certainly been others, but I would say they are the exception and not the rule, aren't they? Van Dijk wasn't the same for a while after his injury. It was like he was scared to sprint. Doubted he would get back to his best, but he did. That's true. West Ham coming forward here. Started not so terrible, at least. Swifty, broken legs, a difference in knee injuries. I didn't know you were a medical doctor, Swifty. What's your medical experience? 2-0 Bayern, is it really? 2-0 Bayern. If West Ham do somehow win this, I am in the mud. I don't mind telling you, because I've put Chelsea or draw on pretty much everything. So if West Ham somehow turn this round and win tonight, I am I am not going to be happy. Swifty says biohacker. AJ Valdez. The guy 2-0 over 1 first half. Nice. Is it Luis Diaz? Lucho with the goal. Man, I hope we replace Diaz. Rio Ngamoa, mate. 16-year-old Rio Ngamoa. That's your Luis Diaz replacement as it stands. We might somehow be able to get Rodrigo over the line, but I doubt it somehow. Torn Larsen's shin bone came through his sock. I was going to say, a little bit like Swifty, I always feel like when you see players going down and it's not so gruesome, like when it's like really innocuous, they're the ones you want to watch. They're the ones that are usually the ones that cause the most damage. I remember John Arne going down, I think it was in Eindhoven, I'm sure it was away to PSV. And he was out for about 5 or 6 months. But he just went running down the left-hand side and then fell over. And he said afterwards it felt like someone had shot him in the back of his leg. And it was his Achilles. His Achilles had tore. Fully tore. That was it, Achilles. There you go, Swifty. So we're on the same page, mate. We're on the same page. Shot from distance. Oh my God, West Ham have rattled it in. And it's Paquetá, 1-0 from 30 yards out. What an absolute screamer that is. Oh, no. I mean, I'm made up. I'm so happy. I'm so made up for West Ham, but I'm also very, very nervous. Oh, my God. I have backed Chelsea on absolutely everything here. If they're gonna cost me, aren't they? And I'm just going to hate Chelsea all the more. But what an absolute screamer this was from West Ham. An absolute rattler. Really poor. Who is that? It's Esteval. Esteval giving the ball away. Shocking. Paquetá picks it up and then left-footed. I think Sanchez has to do better as well. Let's pick out the bones of this one. Esteval giving the ball away in midfield. Terrible. Sanchez, again, from that distance. I know the ball swerves, but I think he's got to be doing better. Sanchez and Esteval, the two people causing that. You've got to go with your other hand there, mate. Why are you going with your right hand? Why are you going with your right hand? What is he doing there, Robert Sanchez? If it's getting to the point now where if it's on target, it's got a fucking good chance of going in the net. He's so bad. So bad. AJ Valdez says no one closing him down, but what a goal. It was a good strike, but you still got to criticise the keeper there. And Esteval for giving it away so cheaply. People have been telling me all season how this kid's absolutely unreal, Esteval. He's brilliant. He's going to change. Don't listen. If you can't do the basics like that, ball comes into your feet and you're trying to flick it round the corner. You give the ball away and then you concede like that. Honestly, that's the sort of thing you haul him off at half time. You're off the pitch, mate. Don't be doing that sort of stuff. Lisha, this is what you mean by you can't win the league with Sanchez in goal. Can't win the league with Sanchez in goal. Absolutely not. Can't win the league with that defence. As you know, Cucurella is a decent player. But no, absolutely not. I don't think for 1 second that Chelsea are even close to winning the league. Lisha Key, did we not talk about how Palmer was starting like 30 minutes ago? Yes, Palmer got an injury in the warm-up, mate, and he got took off or replaced by Estevao, who has just given the ball away in the build-up. And Paqueta picked the ball up and just ran forward with it. They all backed off him. And he just had a shot. Little pot shot from 25, 30 yards out. Robert Sanchez, not quite sure what he's doing there. Callum the Red says Spurs or Chelsea will defo be for fourth. Well, yeah, I think Spurs, certainly. I think Spurs got a great chance. Nick A13 says, my team Chelsea losing against West Ham. WTF. Oh, yeah. That guy says Palmer or Enzo assist. Well, Palmer can't. Palmer's off the pitch, mate. Palmer has got injured in the warm-up, so he can't give you an assist. Oh, it's so bad for him, Estevao, that. So sloppy. That's like your teammates are going to be looking at you there and going, what are you doing, kid? 3 touches, no challenge on... Yeah, exactly, that's it. Tone, you said it. Great shout. No, absolutely no one closing him down. No challenge at all. From a manager's point of view, if you're Enzo Maresca, you're looking at that, you're thinking, what, lads, what are we doing? What are we doing? Giving the ball away that cheaply. Goal was an absolute belter. Wasn't that good. Really wasn't that good. Oscar, thank you for sharing the live. Cheers for sharing. Thank you for all the likes. Appreciated. Can we get to 2K? Can we get to 2K before half time? Let's try and get to 2K before half time if we can. Nick A13 says Chelsea troubles. I don't think Chelsea are in trouble. I still think they'd turn it round and get at least a point. FM No Casuals, cheeky West Ham freeze there. Have you actually froze it? Well done. I'm so gutted because I put Chelsea on everything and I knew West Ham were going to bounce back tonight. Chelsea, honestly, this will wipe me out, this will absolutely wipe me out. If it somehow transpires that West Ham win this game, I am going to be raging. I'm not even kidding. Raging. And I know FM No Casuals is a big West Ham fan. He's one of our regular members here in the community, and he's a big West Ham fan. But come on, no. Chelsea chance, hit it. AJ Valdez says Chelsea can turn it round for sure, but I would love to see them lose. I would as well. I don't like Chelsea. I would love to see them lose. I'm not... but I've kind of edged it a little bit because I've backed them on everything. Have you got... I have, mate. Yes, I have. I have got about... I'm not even kidding. About 8 or 9 Ackers. Joe says, where's Palmer? Palmer got took off. He got took off in the warm-up. He pulled something in the warm-up and Estevao replaced him. So Estevao came on and replaced him in the warm-up. And he started the game, Estevao. And then he gave the ball away, which cost Chelsea the goal. So... Nick A13, Mr. Knee. Mr. Knee? What's Mr. Knee? Swifty, they looked a bit stronger on paper, West Ham, than last week. Yeah, well, they couldn't have been much worse, could they? Let's be honest. Any prediction for Mallorca versus Celta Vigo? Celta win. I honestly don't know, mate. Yeah. Mr. Knee, there you go. Bayern 3, Leipzig 0. Mr. Knee, that's a new one on me anyway. Here's the lap. PSG over 1.5. Well, they've just missed a penalty, apparently. AJ Valdez, the jersey is nice. You're right about that. It is, isn't it? Yeah, I like the Chelsea away. Nick, wait, isn't your name Knee? Mate, have you seen this? Have you seen this? You can read this, surely. Come on. You know what that says. Knee. I'm insulted. Imagine thinking my name's Lee, I am sorry. Oh, you're done. You're done. Nee and Lee. That's it. That's the last prediction you're getting out of me, sunshine. Nee and Lee. Anything but Kee. AJ says, Tone, they should be able to. They have as many players as a US football team, Chelsea. It's going to be all this now. It's just going to be one-way traffic. Chelsea all game. West Ham sitting deep. It's going to be like this now. That's it. We've created... Oh, chance must be. What a piece of defending that is on the far post by Malik Diouf. I tell you what, he is some player, him. I don't think I've ever bigged up a player like much more than him, based off like a few games that I saw him in last season. I knew he'd be a good signing for West Ham. He's such a good player. Definitely gets picked up by someone next summer. Nee, are you showing the game? Here we go. Corner kick to Chelsea. Near post. Header. Get in there. 1-1. It's João Pedro with the goal. João Pedro. It was a flick on at the near post. Who was it who flicked it on? But Chelsea with the corner. Flick on at the near post. João Pedro bangs it in. 6 yards out. Less than 6 yards out. Header. West Ham 1. Chelsea 1. We're back on. We're back on here. Who was it who flicked it on near post? Was it Cucurella? If it's Cucurella, this is some going. It is as well. Hey, that is a fabulous set-piece routine from Chelsea. That's brilliant. Marc Cucurella went short and then ran to the near post. Flicks it on. João Pedro with the head. That's fabulous from Chelsea. Big, big round of applause to Enzo Maresca there. Who needs Arsenal's set-piece coach? Java or whatever his name is. Sensational that from Chelsea. Well done. 1-1. Lead didn't last long, says Swifty. Be yourself, Dylan. Nee and Lee. Wait, sorry, I was stung by a bee and corrected it to Kee. Nick, Mr. Kee, any predictions for Osasuna versus Valencia? No, Rick, I haven't. None at all, Rick. I don't do predictions anymore. I only do predictions for people who get my name right. West Ham with a free kick here. Opportunity. Malik Diouf, is he? No, he stands it up to the far post. So check. And Chelsea clear it away. There's a claim there by Chelsea for what? For offside? What's he claiming for? Paquetá. Right-footed. No, into Todibo. Pulls it back. Chance. Big effort. Must be. It's 2-1. Jesus Christ. It's all going off here. 2-1. Nicholas Fulkrug with the goal. 16 minutes in. It's West Ham 2, Chelsea 1. We've got a game on here. And Chelsea are complaining like mad to Michael Oliver here. They're absolutely going nuts. Nicholas Fulkrug giving it the old... Hey! But no, Chelsea are raging. What's Enzo Fernandez? Todibo, sorry, not tossing. Todibo might well be offside. I think he could well be, you know. Yeah, I think he's offside there. They're going to check it. But I think he might well be off. So this one might get overruled and we might be back to 1-1. Looks off. Certainly looks off. He is off, isn't he? Look at that. Come on, we can see that with the naked eye. Watch this take. This is going to be one of them where it takes like 4 minutes. And we can all see it, can't we? We're all looking at that. We can see that within 5 seconds. We don't need the lines drawn in. We don't need AI. We need our eye. One eye. That's it. That's all we need. We've got it. Here we go. Michael Oliver. Check. Offside. Thank you very much, sir. And ruled out. West Ham 1. Chelsea 1. We're back square. We're back all square again. Who says there's no drama in football? FM No Casuals, with your luck on predictions, lad, it's best people call you Lee. Hey, listen. With my predictions, I better start charging a fee. Yeah, have to start calling me Fee for my predictions because they bear fruit so often. Fee. Call me Fee. Because that's what I'll be demanding. A big old fee. Toddy Bowles long leg off, says Swifty. Here's Estevao. Ball into the middle. Delap. Shot on target, but good save from Hermanson. Any stock market picks? Oh, mate, I stay away from the stock market. I like my money right where I can see it. In my overdraft. Chelsea supporter. I knew Chelsea would disappoint me. This match could end in a draw. Listen, I'll take a draw now. I'll take a draw. As long as it's not West Ham win. But it's good. I'm glad that West Ham have started this way. Nick A13, Saint Key, because he's mostly right on his predictions. Be yourself, Dylan Key. I don't want to pay a fee because I'm too busy drinking my tea. I can see. Oh, any for me? There you go. Dad jokes all round. MT, there's only true drama at Real Housewives of Manchester United. It's going to be a corner to West Ham here. Tossing Adrabayo, pouring it behind. They're not looking at all comfortable here, Chelsea, are they? It's bad. Chimey says Panama is all I want to see. Panama under 20s women's. Nick, I ask your prediction because most of the time you're right. I don't like that pressure, Nick. I don't enjoy that pressure. I don't mind giving you the odd one but I'm not a sage. I'm not a mystic. So no, I haven't got an opinion. I'll say that for those particular games, I really haven't got an opinion. But if it's a game that I know a fair bit about and I would have maybe backed myself, I don't mind telling you what I would have put on. Dylan, yes, you can have some, but wait just a minute. I need a wee. Here we go. Cucurella down the left-hand side. And West Ham get it all the way back to Hermanson. It's been a breathless start here. Ben says, need a Juve shot on target. Well, the way this game started, mate, I can't see it not happening. The only thing that might slow you down a little bit with that one is that Juve is getting forced back an awful lot by Estevao on that right-hand side. Swifty says Chelsea have not got going. I'd agree with that for sure. Nick, are you saying because I called you Knee instead of Key because you always give me tips for La Liga matches? No, it's nothing to do with that. I just don't like the pressure. I don't want the pressure. I'm not good with pressure. I don't like it. MT, watch some Solomon and Tobago on FIFA site. There are some phenomenal games, especially the youth sides. Favourite still the classic. Young Cookers versus the British Virgin Islands. FM No Casuals. Palmer ruined my builder, BTTS and Pedro so far though. Chance, West Ham, Chelsea have scored. There you go. Pedro Neto. Get in there. I feel so dirty saying that. Pedro Neto scoring, but they're complaining already on that far side. I think it's Paqueta who's complaining, and there might be an overrule again here. We might get a second goal ruled out. Lucas Paqueta is complaining that he got a hand in the eye or an elbow in the eye. What's he whinging about? He's definitely whinging about something here. Paqueta picks it up. Oh, is it a foul? Who is it who presses him there? It's a lovely ball in, but we'll just have to wait and see now whether or not this... I think it might be Caicedo, is it? Is it Caicedo? Might even be Estevao. I don't know who it is who goes in on Paqueta. But we need to see that back. Because Paqueta goes down, holding his face. It looks like maybe not an elbow, but... No, that's not a foul. That's not a foul. You're not getting a foul for that. I'm sorry. It's Chalobah as well. It's not... It's Chalobah... No, it's not a foul. That's not a foul. I agree, Swifty. There's no foul there. And we are going to play on. The referee's definitely not taking a look at that one on VAR. But it's West Ham 1, Chelsea 2. Empty says Paqueta. Ireland earning some CH. Some cash now. Better up again. I know, yeah. He backed himself first goal scorer. He can switch off now. Emiliano. Guten Tag, Emiliano. How's it going? Gabbies, did you see the Hacking game? 7-2. I didn't. No, I didn't see it, but I did see the result. Emiliano says Bayern is way too good for Leipzig. I agree. They're all over him, aren't they, at this moment in time? 3-0 up at half-time. I wonder whether we're going to see any more, of course. Derby 0, Bristol City 0 as well in the game at Pride Park. Got to keep an eye on that one. Charmy says, get in Neto. Who got the assist for that one? So we've had Diouf. Diouf got the assist for the West Ham goal. Get in there. That's one of mine for the FPL. And I've got João Pedro got the goal and the João Pedro assist. I am flying. I'm absolutely flying this week. Gnabry will with his second prime. Palmer not playing. No, I know Palmer's not playing. Palmer got took off before kick-off. Yeah, I think most people picked João Pedro, didn't they, to be fair? Onye says, I captained Palmer, I'm so cooked. I don't know who I captained. Can't remember. I said I'm waiting. I'm going to wait until the end of August before we do like an FPL review. Like people can check, but I'm going to do like an FPL review video on the channel. Emiliano, I don't see Bochum on your background. I know. That's because it's not there. Swifty, I think Neto is overrated. I don't know if I think he's overrated. He's a very decent player. I don't know if people think he's any better than that, though, do they? Onye, I think Salah is my vice-captain, so maybe I'm good. Hopefully he bangs versus Newcastle. Yeah, Salah usually does well at St James's Park. Really good play that by Bowen. And Cucurella getting back into position. Well done. Emtino, captained Igor Thiago. He's a big man. Igor Thiago, shocking. Great play by Neto. Shot from distance from Pedro, miles over the bar. And boom goes the dynamite. United forever. What's going on, Key? What's the score? It's West Ham 1, Chelsea 2 after 26 minutes. And a fast start to this one. Yeah, very, very fast start. And I've got 2 assists and a goal in this game already. Onye says, why is Bowen still at West Ham? Genuine question. He's been consistently good for years. I think he just missed his chance, mate. When he scored the winner in the Europa Conference League final, he would have been... I think he would have been about 25, 26 then. If he'd have gone when Rice did that summer, he'd have got a big move to somewhere. He'd have got, a Liverpool or a City or an Arsenal. Any one of them would have taken him. He was brilliant. He was absolutely brilliant. He didn't. He stayed, and he didn't push for a move, and as a result, he entered that zone where he's 28, and although he's in his prime, he's 28. West Ham would want 70 plus million for him because he's the best player. He's scoring and assisting loads every season, but he's not worth it viably. No team is paying 70, 80 million for a 28-year-old Jared Bowen, 29-year-old Jared Bowen, whatever he ends up being this season. So I just feel like he missed the boat. If he'd have done it a couple of years ago, he probably could have got a big move. Instead, he didn't. He didn't do what Alexander Isak's doing. And again, that's where Alexander Isak could well be Jared Bowen in another couple of years if he stayed at Newcastle. That's probably what we'd have been talking about with him. Why didn't Isak leave? Why didn't Isak ever decide to leave Newcastle? Well, sometimes you have to push. Oliver Sims says Chelsea has turned it around. Swifty because his father-in-law wants him there. Well, there's that as well. Onye, I've been tracking Bowen since he was at Hull. He was a baller then, and I knew he was going to be good. Nick A13 says, United Forever, where did Alvarez go? We are about Edson Alvarez of West Ham. They have moved him on, basically. I don't think they're particularly enamoured with him. So, yeah, he's about to get sold. I think Galatasaray or Fenerbahce, someone like that, were looking at him. Razine says, Paqueta's goal is a banger. Anyways, I realistically think Chelsea will be second. They'll fight to the last match day, then City will snatch it. Oh, Razine, you're clueless, mate. With the best respect in the world, you think Chelsea are finishing second? Chelsea are finishing second with that goalkeeper. You're off your meds, sunshine. There's absolutely no way. There's absolutely no way Chelsea finish ahead of Liverpool, City, and Arsenal. Absolutely no chance. Or any of them, in fact. They don't finish ahead of any of them. None of them. No way. Key, as a Chelsea fan, I know it's a bit biased, but this away kit is something special. No, we've been saying that all night, mate. I agree. I think the Chelsea away kit's lovely. Proper throwback, isn't it? Onye, I thought that Alvarez move was quite stupid. Isn't he the best midfielder? There seems to be... I was listening to West Ham's fan channel, their YouTube channel. I think it's like Hammers TV or Hammers Fan TV or something like that. I was watching it, and they were doing a chat with all the fans, the West Ham fans, and they were talking about how Sullivan, the owner, keeps taking players from an agency that he's got connections with, and apparently Alvarez is one of those. He's not a player that Lopetegui wanted or Moyes. He's not a player that Graham Potter wanted or wants. He's just a player that, an agent has come to the owner, the West Ham owner, Sullivan, and said to him, listen, can get this done, what do you think? And he's gone, oh, okay, yeah, fine, we'll do that. And he's that sort of an owner where he's kind of picking players up without necessarily approving them with the manager, it seems to be. Again, how true this is, we don't know. This is what I'm hearing from West Ham fans who are obviously an awful lot more closer to the situation. It's the same with Guido Rodriguez as well. Yeah, Guido Rodriguez is another one who falls into that bracket. Here's... Oh, Joof, that might have been your chance there, Ben. Chelsea supporter, we might be the first to win the EPL. Football is full of surprises, though. There's absolutely no way Chelsea win the league. Zero chance. Onye, who do you think is worse between the Glazers, Sullivan, or Daniel Levy? The Glazers, 1,000,000%. Yeah, listen, Daniel Levy is a terrific owner. I don't know why Spurs fans don't like Daniel Levy. He's a fabulous owner. Look at where Spurs were. Look at where they are. Swifty, I'm a fan of Daniel Levy. Me too. Honestly, look at where they were. Look at where they are. I think he's a terrific operator. One of the things you'd say is you don't make a mug of Daniel Levy, do you? If you're buying from Spurs, you're getting it's a tough price. He's one of the best negotiators in football. He's brought managers to Spurs who, in my opinion, probably they had no business being there or staying there. Like at one time, Pochettino was possibly one of the best managers in football, wasn't he? Stayed at Spurs. Here's Estevao, chance. Oh, it's 3. It's 3, and it's Enzo Fernandez with the goal, and what a run that was from young Estevao. That was fabulous. That was really, really smart play. Estevao picking it up on the right-hand side, and he does deserve a lot of praise for that one. I've given him some stick tonight for giving the goal away, and he definitely did. He was responsible for the first goal, the West Ham goal. But I tell you what, that was brilliant from Estevao. And now Graham Potter is cutting a very, very frustrated figure. We said 3-1 to West Ham. That was my prediction before kick-off. Or 3-0. I can't remember. Either way, 3-1, that's a pipe dream now. This one might be 5-6. Estevao, just lightning pace. And then he gets across the defender, pulls it back across the 6-yard box. And it's a tap-in, really. It's a tap-in for Enzo Fernandez. Wonderful run. And a great goal. West Ham 1, Chelsea 3. Estevao. Fabulous stuff. Derby 0, Bristol City 1. Yes! Get in there. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. No offence to Derby fans, by the way, but I have backed Bristol City. Twine with the goal. Twine. Callum the Red could get nasty now. Yeah, I mean, look, there's definitely going to be some murmurs of discontent in that crowd, you would imagine. It's got to be frustrating to be a West Ham fan. Be yourself, Dylan, says Twine, former Burnley player. Isn't Twine the set-piece taker? Am I right in saying that? Yeah, it is, isn't it? Twine's got more free kicks. I saw this before the Sheffield United game. He has the best record of any player across the top 4 tiers of English football. Basically, he's the best free kick taker in all of football. Key, mate, is that Liverpool's kit from the 99-00 season? Which one, the green one or this one on the wall? Which, to be honest, mate, I've got all of it. Literally, I would say every Liverpool kit, every single Liverpool kit, is dotted just around me here. The green one isn't 99. No, I think the green one is. I think it's 97, 98, is it? Or 98, 99? Liverpool green away kit. It is 99 all. Is it 99 all? That's mad. Oh, I don't like that. I thought it was earlier than that. Well, it must be. There you go. 99-00. FM No Casual says, I'm past the stage of anger. And to think Alvarez doesn't get in this midfield. United Forever says, I heard Souček might leave to join Everton. Doesn't Moyes want him? He's definitely a Moyes type of player. Oh, that's a foul. Come on, ref. Did he actually give a goal kick for that? That's shocking. Cole Cheeseman, sorry mate, gotta unsubscribe. Your Levy opinion is so wrong. Brilliant businessman, terrible football intelligence as a chairman. Come on, you Spurs. Well, elaborate then, if you're still here. If you're still here, elaborate as to why he's got terrible football intelligence. His job is to pick people to do the job. He picks people to do the job. And he pays. Oh, honestly, that's all you want from an owner. Look, I know. Give me. I really, really do want the answer. I want you to tell me why you think Daniel Levy is a terrible owner. Because I honestly, I think he's one of the best about. I think every time I hear Spurs fans say he's a terrible owner, I feel like you're a little bit petulant, maybe, and you don't really know what a terrible owner is. Because you could get a lot worse, believe me. Better the devil you know. No, I want to say one of the best about. Okay, what do you want from an owner? Tell me what you want from a football owner. Because I guarantee you, when you go through them, Daniel Levy ticks most of the boxes. What do you actually want from a football owner? Onyé says you could have the Glazers, to be fair. Listen, there's not... Every single club have gone through it. You know, there's been really, really poor... Oh, that's a lovely ball in from Wan-Bissaka. Nick Nack, are you trolling the chat again? I'm not trolling the chat. I'm genuine. I'm serious. I want a Spurs fan. Cole has just put it in there. Cole, I would love Cole to tell me why he believes that Daniel Levy is an absolutely shocking owner, or what did he say? He's a brilliant businessman, terrible football intelligence. It's not him running those things, right? Cole Cheeseman, no one was in for Eze for 2.5 weeks, yet he lowballs every time. I think blaming Daniel Levy for the Eze thing is... I think that's unfair. Because you look at Daniel Levy's... He's tried to get Morgan Gibbs-White. That didn't happen through no fault of his own. The Eze thing... I don't think you'll find a single Spurs fan who agrees. I disagree. Well, I know, but again, I think Spurs fans probably... Maybe they're a little bit spoiled with Daniel Levy. Because I know what a bad owner looks like. There you go. Be careful what you wish for, Spurs fans, says Superstar. I agree. Honestly, there's no way at all that guy has got you from White Hart Lane to probably the best stadium in Europe, right? He has got you from down near the foot of the table to competing regularly in the Champions League, reaching the Champions League final, reaching the Europa League final, winning the Europa League. From where Spurs were to where they are now, it is absolutely night and day. It is night and day. So I think you're wrong. I'll fight you on that. I'll fight you on that. I do think Daniel Levy is a very, very decent owner, let's call him. And maybe he's not great. Maybe he's made some mistakes. I'll agree. Maybe he's made some mistakes. But I just can't agree that he's such a terrible guy. Knick-knack, Eze was never going to Spurs anyway. Well, that's it. Listen, at the end of the day, why are you blaming Daniel Levy when it's crystal clear that Eze always wanted Arsenal? Imagine if you had signed him and actually he had that, imagine a scenario, if you will, where Eze is sat in the room, right, at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. He's sat in the room, pen in hand, right, and he's got the contract in front of him, and he signs it, and they go, brilliant. Eberechi, brilliant, fantastic, great to have you as a Tottenham player. Handshake, does the handshake, takes the picture, all that stuff, shirt on, Spurs shirt on, all getting ready to go. Very, very nearly announcing it to the world, but it's all pretty much done. All of a sudden, phone rings. Phone rings, and it's Arsenal. Listen, are you done with Spurs? Because we want him. We'll have him. We'll get it done, and we'll get it done like that. We are lightning quick. We are ready to get it done. We'll have him. Right? I know you want to come to Arsenal. You prefer us over Spurs. Will you come to Arsenal? Imagine the pang of regret that would seep through Eberechi Eze at that point. And then he has to go and play for Spurs because he can't back out of it. Can't back out of it at that point. And that would have been far worse, I promise you. Because then you'd have had a player who's just signed for the club and already gutted to play for Spurs. Before he even kicks a ball, gutted to play for Spurs. Swifty, Arsenal and Chelsea have a bit more pull than Spurs. Yeah, well, of course they do. Of course they do. Spurs are still carrying that Spursy tag, aren't they? And I think they need a manager to come in and I don't think Thomas Frank is that manager for what it's worth. I really like Thomas Frank. He's a wonderful manager, but I feel like they need a chest out. Someone who'll really come out and take them on. But that's probably not... They're not ready for that just yet. They probably need Thomas Frank to take them to the point where they're ready, back in the Champions League, week in, week out. Well, season in, season out. And then they go and get that guy. Then they go and get, the Jurgen Klopp who takes him and carries him forward into the next bit. But they need someone with a bit of charisma. Someone who's going to help them shed that Spursy tag. Swifty says they haven't won a Premier League. I just don't think that matters, though, does it? I don't think that's the reason for the Spursy tag. The Spursy tag is the stuff that's happened this week, isn't it? Chasing Eberechi Eze, and then he goes and bins him off for Arsenal. It's. I don't mean to laugh. It is sad. Superstar says, I'm a Watford fan. I'll swap owners with Spurs anytime. Is it still the Potsos with you guys? See, there you go. That is a bad owner. That is a horrendous owner. Cole Cheeseman, he gave an interview 2 weeks ago saying he wants to win the Prem and Champions League, but we bought Kudus because we knew West Ham needed cash, and Paulinho on loan. Not good enough to reach higher. But maybe that's because that's not been through a lack of trying, has it? That's been through a lack of signings, just maybe choosing other... I mean, Eze's chosen other things. Gibbs-White, they put a lot of time into the Gibbs-White transfer. That one fell through, not really through any fault of Spurs' own, or at least it didn't seem like. So, you know, they've put a lot of time into 2 transfers. They could have had maybe Gibbs-White and Eze, or maybe just one of the 2. Yeah. And it's not like they haven't spent. It's not like they haven't spent. They went out and spent big money on Dominic Solanke. That one didn't work. They went and spent big money on Richarlison. That didn't work. Even Brennan Johnson's big money, you know. So there's a lot of players that, you know, they've gone out and spent good cash on, and it's just not quite worked out. So I have to feel I have to feel a little bit of sympathy. Nick Nack, are we not watching the game? Why? What makes you say that? Tone, plenty of good Scottish managers, coaches around, usually do well with teams in England. Yeah, Scottish, well, that's historically, maybe not so much anymore. Key says, you never feel sympathy for Tottenham, mate. United forever, when do you see Potter getting sacked? Probably in the next month, I would say. Fatboy007, this Nibbling deal just shows how desperate Everton are. I kind of have to agree with you, mate. We was talking about that a little bit earlier. Kyle H says Spurs are better in business than they are in football. If the football side of Spurs was run as well as the club's business and funding is, then they'd be world champions like Chelsea. World champions like Chelsea. Oh my goodness me. We've got, is it 5 or 6 minutes that? Nick Nack and even Richarlison, there's still a player in there. We saw that last week. Still time for Solanke to work. Neither of which are Daniel Levy's fault then, right? So can we agree that that's not Daniel Levy's fault? His manager asked for those players. He went and got those players. The fact that they aren't working out is not really his problem, right? That's his problem. It is his problem, but it's not his fault, let's say. Fatboy007, oh, we've done that one, sorry. Brandon, how have you found the game, mate? Scurry, because I've backed Chelsea to win. And then West Ham took the lead, nearly took the lead again, and the second goal was ruled out. Yeah, Chelsea have played quite well since going behind. But West Ham had them rattled, certainly in the first sort of 15 minutes or so. Kyle H says, I knew that would wind you up. Ball over to the far side here, West Ham, and it's going to be... Oh, Neto's got it on the counter-attack here. This is a big, big chance for Chelsea. Very big chance. Here's Estevao, furthest Chelsea player forward. And, oh, it's great play by Juve, who manages to win the throw-in as well. Good play, really good play. Noah Serson, score predictions versus Newcastle. I've gone 2-1 Liverpool, mate. What's your predictions? Nick Nack says, I backed Chelsea to win and it looks safe now. Yeah, I had Chelsea to win. I've got Bristol City to win. Bayern Munich to win. And I got Betis or draw against the Alaves. Noah says 2-0 to LFC, Ekatike and Leone. Leone doesn't get on the pitch. Leone doesn't get anywhere near the pitch. He'd probably be on the bench. Be good to have him on the bench for like the atmosphere and stuff, but he won't get anywhere near the pitch. There's no chance that Arne Slot puts him on the pitch. It's Ezekiel. Tomorrow predictions: City and Spurs. I think I've gone 3-1 for Spurs. I have gone Burnley and Sunderland 2-0 to Betis 1-0 Alaves. 2-0 to Sunderland. I've got Burnley, Sunderland, 2-0 to Sunderland. What are the other 3 o'clock kickoffs tomorrow? I forget. Bournemouth against Wolves. I think I said 2-1 Bournemouth. Brentford Villa 1-1. And Arsenal Leeds, I think 4-0 to Arsenal. So, and we're live for Arsenal Leeds, we're live for Burnley Sunderland, and we're live for City Tottenham as well, by the way. So we're live for all of them. For Sunday's games, it's Palace and Forest. I think I said 2-2. Everton, Brighton, I've gone 2-0 to Brighton. And then Fulham, Man United, I've gone 1-1 for that one. And we're going to be live for them as well. Everton and Brighton I'm going to be live for. And I'm live for Fulham against Man United. So if you've not already subscribed, give us a like, give us a follow, subscribe if you're new. Make sure you do it. The Brummy food reviews. Have you ever had periods where you've lost interest in football? I have, mate. Yeah, I think that's fair to say. There's been different times where it's happened. It's usually been when I've been a little bit despondent at things in football. Like, do you know when it last was? I think it was probably around the time Suarez left. That was probably the last time where I was really, really like, ugh. And I was a little bit as well when Gerrard left as well. When Gerrard left and Suarez left under Brendan Rodgers, we just seemed aimless. We just seemed like we were going absolutely nowhere. I wasn't really enjoying watching football. And then Klopp just came in and rejuvenated everything. So yeah, after that, it's been brilliant. I've had the best 10 years ever watching football. It's been fantastic. But what about you? Have you ever had it? It'd be interesting to hear what you think, the Brummy food reviews. Love the food reviews as well. I'm just having a quick check on there. New Greg's flatbread. How good was that? Joe, mine was when Benitez was manager. Swifty says I did after England lost to Iceland. See, there's problem number one. I have absolutely zero interest in the national teams. So if England get knocked out of tournaments, it means absolutely nothing to me. It's honestly, it's about the same as Wales getting knocked out, or Scotland, or it's just another game of football to me. They don't mean anything to me. Fatboy007, Simpson at Derby will feel pressure. He spent a few quid. That's true enough. The Brummy food reviews. I followed football all of my childhood and most of my adult life, but 5 years ago I lost all interest. Not watched the game since. Can you pinpoint it to anything, mate? Is there anything in particular that happened around that time? To be honest, there's a mate of mine who said something very similar. It's mad you say that. And his wasn't actually anything to do with football. It was he lost his dad. So it was more of a personal thing in his life, and he lost his dad, and he kind of didn't really, because that was what connected him to football. I mean, that's kind of what connects me to football. I got into football because of my dad, and that's kind of why the channel's called Premier League Dad. And because I now watch footy with my little girl, or at least try to. She's not really interested yet. Maybe in time she will be. But he lost his dad, and he kind of lost interest in it for a while. So, yeah, maybe. The Brummy food reviews. I think I found a passion for something else and realised that was more of my thing. Oh well, that's nice. That's at least it's a happy ending. At least you've found something that you want to channel your energy into. That's good. Who did you support, by the way? And what was the thing, if you don't mind sharing, what was the thing that you found you channeled your energy into? Was it food reviews? That's quite cool, if so. Nick Knack says, what's up with Cole Palmer? He must be gutted he didn't get to play against this shambles of a team. Cole Cheeseman, he offered 30 mil and Richarlison for Eze. They were asking for 65. Low ball master. I'll admit you're right about terrible transfer picks though. Solanke 60, Richie 50, Johnson 47, Tell 30, Odeber 30. Madness. But again, that's not his fault, is it? All you want from an owner, generally speaking, all we generally want from our owners is listen to pick a good manager, right? And then stay out the way. That's what you want from an owner. Pick a good manager, stay out the way, let them do their job, and give them the tools to do it. And I think Daniel Levy does that very well for the most part. Yes, he's made some mistakes, though. The Brummy Food Review. Think I found a passion for something else and realised that was more of me. Aston Villa. Last live game was the 2-1 playoff final. Not a bad way to go out. Oh, fair enough, mate. Well, listen, maybe one day you can get back into it. If you ever do want to get back into it and you want to watch a game, give us a nudge. Give us a nudge. You can watch a game with me. We can do a duel thing if you fancy. I don't mind doing that. That'll be good fun. If you ever do decide to come back to football, we can have a chat on an Aston Villa game. But thank you for sharing that. That's a good question. Swifty 1981 casuals. Maybe when you support a small club like me, the national team means so much more. That's true enough. Yeah. Again, one of my best mates is he's a Huddersfield Town fan, and he's like mega excited about the World Cup next year and all that stuff, and it just doesn't really do anything for me. PSG have gone ahead against Angers. Fabian Ruiz has scored. Thank you, Ryan, for the follow. Appreciate that. Thank you. If you're new around here, give us a like, give us a subscribe. Paquetá needs to switch his club ASAP for his age. This is his last chance for a big move. Knick-knack. England losing to Iceland was a massive low point, but that's football. It's all about the highs and the lows. But Johnson didn't have a terrible season last year. No, Brennan Johnson did all right, didn't he? Wasn't he like one of Spurs' top scorers last year? Ben, I just need a Juve shot now. Never happening. Why? He's getting forward, Juve. He is getting forward. I think you might do okay with Malik Juve. Right. Okay. Giannis Dimitropoulos, tell us your prediction for Paphos versus Red Star. I think Paphos will go through in that one. Yeah, I think I'd go Paphos to qualify. Swifty 1981 casuals. My aunt and uncle took me everywhere to football. I'd done the 92 grounds by age 15. Oh, that's amazing. That's really, really cool, that, mate. I love that. Really do like that. Reese's Footy Feed. I sometimes feel like I love football in general more so than just the tribal love of my team. Starting to feel passion for non-league and playing and coaching power chair football instead. What's power chair football? I'm new to that. I've never heard that before. I'm intrigued now. Let's Google it. I don't know what power chair football is. I mean, I could probably have a guess. But power chair football. Right, so it's the wheelchair association, but it's a particular type of wheelchair. Okay. Unique sport provides opportunities for people to access the game of football. That's quite cool. And that's it's like a full-on league. See, that's the first time I have ever even heard that phrase, power chair. I mean, don't get me wrong, I knew that there was football, like wheelchair football in the same way that there is, wheelchair, basketball and all that sort of stuff. There's different sort of, depending on the level of impairment, there's all sorts of stuff like that. But I didn't think it was a power chair. I never thought that's what it was. But there you go. You've taught me something new, mate. But yeah, coaching power chair football. That's really cool. Knick-knack, it's the hope that kills you with international football. I expect nothing now, so whatever we achieve is a bonus. Cole Cheeseman, we only pay 40% of our revenue. That's 17th in the last 3 seasons overall. We're the 6th richest club in the world. Like the content, you know what you're talking about, bruv. Cheers, Cole. Thank you. Sometimes, I'll be honest, I don't really know what I'm talking about. I watch enough football that I can probably make it look like I do. But I am intrigued whenever we have a Spurs fan or anyone who comes on, any sort of fan that's got a very strong opinion like that, because I'm always fascinated to kind of pick it apart. I never would have said that Levy was a bad owner, but I know there's lots of protests about it, and it always it bugs me a little bit. Ostermorg, how are we, Key? I'm good, mate. How are you? Good to see you. Do you think West Ham go down? I think West Ham almost certainly sack Graham Potter inside the next 3 weeks. I think maybe he might make it to the second international break, or the after the international break. It's 4-1, Bayern 4, Leipzig 1 in Munich. Noose has just scored immediately after Kane scored. And here's me putting... Oh, I've got Bayern to win and under 7 goals in that one. So this is bad. Knick-knack, we being who? Spurs should stand the club in good stead going forward. West Ham are bang in trouble, aren't they? Yes, I think West Ham are bang in trouble. I think it depends what happens, though, who they replace Graham Potter with. Who would you say, if they were to sack Graham Potter, let's say you're West Ham's owner, let's say you're Sullivan, David Sullivan, who are you replacing Graham Potter with? Who would you go and get? Because for me, there's only one man. Daichi. Don't get Sean Dyche. Ostermorg doing good, Key, in Budapest right now. Budapest. Wow. Named after 2 rivers, isn't it? Or is it two cities either side of the river? Buda and Pest. That's the only thing I know about Budapest, is that it's named after... It's either 2 rivers, the River Buda and the River Pest, or it's 2 cities, the city of Buda, or the town of Buda and the town of Pest. I'm not quite sure. But it's something like that. That's how the name Budapest came to be. Pardew, says Joe. Get him doing his dance again. Get him doing his dance again at the Millennium. Dale says Sunday League defending from West Ham. Swifty says get the mad dog in, Martin Allen. Ryan says Big Sam. Clarky says Rafa Benitez. Swifty, I started watching England at youth level. I do enjoy that. You follow the careers of the players. Yeah, that'd be quite cool. To be honest, I like going watching any football, really. But when my nephew played football up to kind of being like 14, 15, I loved that. I loved going watching. I reckon if I would have liked to do coaching. Yeah. I don't know if I'd have had the patience for it. Jason Tyndall. 2 cities, I think. Knick-knack, you know things are bad when Dyche is the answer. Dyche! England are the current European champions, lost on penalties in the World Cup final to France. How very English, eh? Is there just... Reese, so I'm intrigued now, right? I'm intrigued with this power chair thing. And I want to ask a question, and I hope you know that this is a sincere question, and it isn't in any way meant to be. It's a weird question. It's an odd question, and it's not meant to be in any way disrespectful. However, I'm trying to phrase this in the right way, because I know that it might not come out the way that I want it to come out, but it's coming from a place of love and genuine intrigue, right? In football, pace is incredibly important. So therefore, in power chair football, are they all like the same chair? Is it all the same brand and model? Therefore, like, for example, you can't have someone who's got, you know, an RS model versus... You know, I'm just saying, like, is that a factor here? That feels like I'm really trying... I know that's... It's a really odd... It's a really odd question to ask, and I mean it sincerely, but I'm trying to factor in... I don't know anything about it. Did you see Mark Goldbridge doing a Bane impression? I didn't. I didn't see him doing a Bane impression. I was born in the dark. Knick-knack, Buda is one side, Pest is the other. The Danube is the river. It is. Yes, sorry, that is a good shot. But I am genuinely intrigued by this power chair thing now. Timbo Slice, mate, what have we got here in Estevao? What are you talking about? What have we got here in Estevao? He did well on that goal, but he also gave a goal away. This is the modern football fan. I hate this. He did one good thing. One good thing. Reese's Footy Feed, same chairs, but not everyone can control the chair and react quickly enough. No, okay, so I get that. I get that it would be... That makes sense, doesn't it? Because then it's, you know, it is still based on reactions and how quickly you can maneuver the chair into the space and all that sort of thing, and I get that. I was just curious is it a standardised chair and everyone gets the same one and therefore it's like a level playing field? Because otherwise it would feel unfair. Nick Nack, you'll have to give it a go, Kee. I'm game for that. I am game for that. The basics of finding space must still apply. Yeah. I'm absolutely game for that. Maybe we can do a documentary on it. Maybe we can do a power chair documentary on it and publish it on the channel. On our respective channels, of course, you've got your own, Reese. But that'd be quite cool. You really should do a video on it. I'd be fascinated by that. It's the first time I've ever heard of it. Swifty, you can't use an electric scooter, Kee. No, I'm not trying to cheat. I'm not trying to cheat. I'm just curious as to what the technical, I'm not. I really am. I am sincere about it. I'm not. That's not me taking the mick in any way, shape, or form. I am really, really sincere. I have no understanding of it, and we've got someone here who coaches it, so that's fascinating. I wanted to find out whether or not it was a standardised thing. So that's good. That's cool. Ginge, he's all right. The young kid, he's bang average. He's not bang average. He's done well, but I just look at him and think you also gave a goal away. Timbo Slice Esteval gave the ball away in a situation that doesn't lead to a goal 99% of the time. What are you talking about? You can't give the ball away on the halfway line and then just not really track back. I absolutely think you blame him for that. Cole, keep digging, mate. I know. But no, it's not keep digging. It's not keep digging. No, because sometimes I think no, you shouldn't ask that question because that's not very nice. You shouldn't ask the question just in case someone takes it the wrong way. But then I think no, because it does come from a place of love, and I'm not a nasty person. It's not like that. Some people might interpret it that way, but it isn't that way at all. It's genuinely yeah, no, absolutely not. I've got close members of my family that would probably love to participate in that, to be honest. Seriously would, that have those levels of impairment. Swifty, what the Brazil media thinks of him suggests he's potentially special. I know, but the Brazil media says that about everyone that comes out from Brazil every other year. Every other year it's someone. Do you remember Kerrison? There was Curlon, the seal dribble. There was Kerrison. There was someone every other year. Luis Guilherme, who signed for West Ham. What's happened to him? He was 30-odd million quid. You can name loads of players who've come out of Brazil who they all thought was like the best thing since sliced bread. Timbo Slice, I'm not bothered that Paquetá just scored a screamer. Fatboy 007, West Ham bench don't look all that. They need some players. Swifty, his stats were superb last season in their league. Yeah, and at 18 years of age, he's got a lot of learning to do, and he'll definitely improve. Nick Nack, the thing with Brazil is they have an insane amount of pro players. Comes from the poverty and stuff like that around the streets, and they just start playing football from such a young age. Cole Cheeseman, I knew how you meant it, mate. I know. But you know what people are like. People they'll try and manufacture something out of nothing these days. Reese's Footy Feed, you're a great lad. That's what you want. It's brilliant to give the sport exposure. I'm not a woke or thin-skinned. No, well, I know. But I sometimes you don't want to fall into the trap of thinking, oh God, you shouldn't ask that question. If it's a sincere question and you know that it comes from a place of love, ask away. That's how I am anyway. I've got, I'm epileptic. I've got a disability if we want to go deep into it. So, I say I'm the same. I'm an open book with anyone. Doesn't matter to me. Ask away. Swifty, we need more poverty here to improve the national team. Yeah. Increase food banks. England win the World Cup. sake. There might be a direct correlation with that, to be honest. Knick Knack, big population too. Exactly, yeah. Big population. That's another thing you could do. Maybe that's the solution. Increase food banks. Decrease protection. Increase soul music. Increase Barry White on the radio. Anya, I'm a United fan, but Chelsea should forget about Garnacho and focus on getting a goalkeeper and a good centre-back. It's true enough. It's very true. Timbo Slice. Neto is also getting better all the time. Always liked him, but if he adds end product, will be lovely. If he adds end product. Imagine that, like it's a... Yeah, he's great, him. He just needs to add end product. I had this big row with Evertonians on Twitter today because I dared to say that Illiman and Dye is one of... Well, I think I called him a myth, which in hindsight was possibly a little bit harsh. But I called Illiman and Dye a myth. I said he was one of the most overrated players in the Premier League and he doesn't justify the praise that he gets in some quarters. And you would not believe the backlash that I got on Twitter. Oh, I got some horrendous comments calling me all sorts of horrible names under the sun. And, yeah. Because I dared to say that he was bad. Joe, your Twitter replies with them photos are actually unreal. Well, I'm not letting them take the mick out of me. Sometimes I'm not that bothered. Sometimes, but do you know what it is? A lot of them just don't expect you to have like a nice comment back to them. So half the time, if you just say to them, listen, I hope you have a better day. I hope you have a better day. Because it sounds like you're having a bad time. Did you see that fella who was in the gym? Fella who was in the gym talking to me. He said, you kept calling me fat boy or something like that, chunky, or you've got type 2 diabetes or whatever he was saying, I don't know. And he said something about, I think he called me Mrs. And then he said, but I said, well, at least I've got my picture up on there, mate. I've not got a picture of Ashley Young as my profile picture. D28, Harry Kane hat-trick, 6-0. I can't have another goal. As long as there's no more goals in that Bayern game. Hopefully it finishes 6-0 now. Joe, the gym. Yeah, he said that he was... He said you should get down the gym. That's where I am now. And I said, hang on a minute. So because I called your favourite player a myth, you're furiously, angrily typing in the gym to some stranger. Does that make any sense to you? I just said, you're clearly not getting very much out of that membership. And he said, I'm in between sets. I'm in between sets. Ha 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 ha. I said, oh, all right, yeah. So what? You sat on a bench in the gym on Twitter, crying to me. You sad boy. Get a life. Twitter's good fun at times. Oh yeah, I mean, like I'm only using Twitter sparingly at the moment because I'm trying to grow the following on there, but it's slow going, to be honest. I'm not that bothered about Twitter. I'm mostly focused on YouTube and Twitch and TikTok. I'm less bothered about Twitter. Twitter's just good fun. But yeah, if you are watching and you want to follow me on Twitter, that'd be good. I'd appreciate it. Chelsea, chance! Oh, over the bar. Big chance that for Enzo Fernandez. Swifty, I don't know what Twitch is. Twitch is basically just a... yeah. Twitch is a live streaming platform, effectively. Invest Bible, then you raised it in a live in TikTok. Then I watched you raise it in a live. We're all saddos. No, I agree. We're all saddos to a degree. But what I was saying is, I wasn't going out my way to call him a saddo. He was going out of his way to get all angry because some stranger on the internet had called him Had called his favourite player a myth, and he was getting all personal and aggy. Which is literally, that's the standard of conversation I guess you can expect on Twitter. Hurty words. Roid rage. Could have been roid rage, yeah. Could have been roid rage. I wouldn't mind. Do you know what the mad thing is? A lot of these people, they forget that you can see who the followers are. Or who they're following, rather. So, one way that I've... occasionally, if they're going a bit too deep, I've clicked on the followers on the profile, and you can see he was following Nigel Farage, Andrew Tate, Reform, Tommy Robinson, and then loads of only OF people selling stuff. And I was just a bit like, Chief, if I really wanted to just drop this in, I could. It was bad. There was some bad ones on there. They weren't just like normal. It was like some very, very niche OF stuff. But we'll not go into that. Nick Nack, that's Twitter in a nutshell. Angry people being angry. Yeah, very true. Timbo Slice, what are we saying? I'm joking, by the way, don't ban me. I don't ban people. Listen, do you know how bad you have to be on my lives for me to ban you? You either have, to be honest, you have to be more annoying than actually rude. You have to go a long, long way for me to ban you. It's usually people who spam. I'm more inclined to block people who spam because they're just annoying. But if someone's deliberately trying to, that guy who comes in and says he knows who I am, he knows my family, he knows where I live, what school I went to, all this stuff, and he's gonna come and egg me house. He comes in every other live. Never banned him yet. Let's test where that line is. Go for it. Water off a duck's back. Come on, please don't. I can't have Bayern scoring. I desperately need that to finish 6-0 now. Oh, it's 4. It's 4. It's Moise Caicedo. Oh, there you go. Hermansen's not having a good day at all. It's in. That was easy. Too easy. Moise Caicedo. Joe, I got called a melt by a Man U fan on this live once, all because I said Sesko isn't the real deal. Oh, and the flooding out. The floodgates have opened. Look at that. Oh, yeah, this, I think he might go tonight. I'm not even kidding. He might actually go tonight here. He might well go tonight. It's a corner and it just falls at the feet, really. It's poor from Hermansen. It's a good reaction goal, actually, from Caicedo. You've got to give Caicedo credit, but Hermansen comes out. He gets nothing really on it. And it's a tap-in. It's poor. It's really, really poor, this. Reese's Footy Feed. The people in your family who are disabled live local to you. Sessions are held in Liverpool at Greenbank Academy every Wednesday evening. Beginners always welcome. Oh, nice. Well, I have got a family member in Liverpool who could actually... I'll speak to him. Yeah, possibly. I guess it, maybe depends on the level of impairments and stuff, but I'd be interested to find out more. I'll have a look. I will have a look, mate, and I'll let them know. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. It's very nice of you. Very kind of you. Life is life, says I fear West Ham could get relegated. I think it's looking likely at this point that West Ham are going to get dragged into it. Timbo Slice, Caicedo can score now too. What a man. Swifty, I don't rate Potter, but he's been thrown under the bus a bit by the owners. Yeah, probably fair to say that's true, yeah, I agree. Ollie Marley, opinions on the game. West Ham started quite well. It's not been a terrible West Ham. Has it been a terrible West Ham performance? Really? They could do it. There's a point they were 2-1 up. They were this close to being 2-1 up. Kane subbed, says Invest Bible. That's good. Cheers, mate. Thank you. We need West Ham. We need Bayern to finish 6-0. Here's Chelsea coming forward. They've got 3 in the box. Neto, is he going to stand it up far post? Cleared away. Only as far as Cucurella. Timbo Slice, Cucurella is the best left back in the Prem now. Guardiola's moved back to centre back. Well, I don't know about that. Kirkes got team of the year last year. Life is life. To be fair, when you have an old stagnant team, what do the owners expect? Oh, it's great play. Here's Esteval. Good touch there by Malik Diouf. Important touch. It's gone behind for the goal kick. Fatboy77, 20 mil for that keeper. Thought he was poor last season. It was a little bit all over the place for Leicester, wasn't it? Superstar, West Ham will replace Potter early and survive relegation just fine. It's who they get in though, isn't it? That's the real question for West Ham fans. FM No Casuals, you're our West Ham fan. Who would you go for now? If you're, would you sack him now at this point? Would you sack Graham Potter? And if you was going to sack Graham Potter, who would you go and get in? Because we know who I think. For me, there's only one answer, and it has to be Daichi. Go and get him 25 ashtrays for him to consume. And let him work his way through them. It's 5. It's 5. It's Chalobah. It's in. Oh my goodness me. It's 5. This is getting really, really bad. And yeah, I was still half an hour or well, more than half an hour to go. This could be horrific. They are falling apart here. Timbo Slice, West Ham always seem to be in crisis, whether they're doing well or not. FM No Casuals, I have no idea. They are falling apart, says Swifty. Life is life. I know it sounds silly, but Ole Gunnar should take them on. I don't think he was bad. There's not going to be any West Ham fans left in the stadium at this point. There's 30 or 35 minutes left. It's a simple ball in from the corner, and it's just scrappy. There's no one. Do you know what the problem is there? Nobody reacts to that. The ball falls down in the 6-yard box, and nobody, and I mean nobody, reacts other than Chalobah. It's really poor, yet again from the keeper. Hermanson all over the place, in no man's land, and I think João Pedro's going to get another assist. João Pedro with another assist there. Oh! Fatboy007, Potter must be worried. Hammers fans will be seeing stars. Timbo Slice, Pedro with a goal and 2 assists. Should have captained him. I think I might have done, you know. Life is life. Either you sack the manager or you have the guts and protest to get the owners out. Owners aren't going anywhere at West Ham. Reese's Footy Feeds has popcorn at the ready for the West Ham Fan TV. Most match interviews after this. It defo feels like West Ham take more regular severe thrashings at home than anyone else. Especially after these opening 2 games. I don't think Graham Potter lasts another. Do you know what the only problem is? The only problem is they've got Wolves in midweek, haven't they, in the Carabao Cup, and he might get that game now. He might well get that game. I'd be very surprised if West Ham let him go after 2 games into the new season. I knew he'd get sacked before Christmas. I knew that was coming, but I didn't think it was this soon. You know, it just feels like there's still maybe time for him. Dale, he might get sacked tonight. Swifty, I can't think of a replacement. FM No Casuals, we must have the worst bench in the Premier League. Timbo Slice, I don't care if West Ham are bad. Winning 5-1 without Palmer is a statement from Chelsea. Is it? Really? Honestly, the issue isn't the attack for Chelsea. Chelsea's attack can score goals. Chelsea, nobody doubts that Chelsea have got an attack that can cause problems. The issue for Chelsea is they don't have a solid defence, and that's how they've ended up. If we're really honest, they probably should have conceded 2. West Ham might have had 2 tonight, maybe even 3. They weren't far off getting a couple, maybe even 2 or 3 themselves. So Chelsea defensively aren't all that. And Delap is coming off. He looks a pretty frustrated figure coming off here, Liam Delap. 5 goals for Chelsea, and they're taking him off for Andre Santos. Yeah, not particularly happy with that move, I don't think. Be yourself, Dylan. 6 minutes for Bayern to score number 7. Don't be saying that, Dylan. Please don't let him score one more. That's all I need. I just need him to make it through. We're at 6-0. I've got Bayern and under 7 goals, so 6 is fine. Just no more, please. Superstar, someone's getting sacked in the morning. Maybe we should do a poll. We should put a poll on YouTube for which manager next for West Ham. In fact, here, I'll do it now. We'll do right. The next manager odds for West Ham are as follows. Right, you can get favourite. Would you believe is Gareth Southgate? Gareth Southgate is the favourite to replace him. Oh, that doesn't seem likely. Does that seem likely to you? Doesn't to me. Yeah, Southgate, new favourite. Edin Terzic is another one as well, who is being linked quite heavily. Postecoglou, as you'd expect, is still there. Steve Cooper, Gary O'Neill, Marco Rose, Edin Terzic, Sean Dyche, Kasper Hjulmand, Ralph Hasenhüttl, and Michael Carrick. Michael Carrick might be an interesting one. Do we think he could be tempted? Obviously, he's still at Middlesbrough, but he's ex-West Ham, of course, isn't he? Knows the club. I do wonder whether or not he could possibly move in there. Fatboy007, they need Lampard or Carrick to get the fans on board again. Wade Dodd, hey Key, what's your thoughts on Lammens, the goalkeeper that United are going in for? We watched him a couple of games already this season, mate. Antwerp against Union Saint-Gilloise. He saved a penalty, dominated his area, very big commanding goalkeeper. He's like a Courtois regen. That's not a, that's me as a Liverpool fan. I think he's a very good keeper. Yeah. Emil Janssen, United wins the Prem. No, don't be silly. Nearly West Ham. Nearly West Ham. Life is life. What about these options? Michael Carrick, Sergio Conte, Sal, Mourinho. Mourinho's at Fenerbahce. I can't see him leaving there. Conte Sal, obviously, most recently AC Milan manager. But there are a lot of managers out of work, aren't there? A lot of, like I said, Terzic, Rose, Tedesco would be one they might look at. Ex-Belgian manager. Yeah. Tony Pulis. Life is life. Zidane to West Ham. Here we go. Yeah, he could do. Why not? Get him in. Knick-knack. Potter looks broken. Big chance for Wilson there. I mean, Wilson is another signing. I just don't really think he makes the. I don't think he makes the cut. Did you see my text? What was your text? I didn't see your text. What was your text? Scroll up a little bit. Told you my bet. 150 would be nice. Come on, Derby. Oh, no chance. Derby aren't getting back in that. I didn't see what you put, mate. No. Neil Warnock. Superstar Carrick was sacked by Borough. I thought he resigned. But do you know what I mean? He was most recently at Borough, wasn't he? That was the last place he was at. But he did okay at Borough. There was a time where he was linked with United, oddly. Nick Nack, where does Potter go from here? I think Potter's still a very good manager. I look at Potter and I think he needs a club that's probably a better fit. And he did so well at Brighton. West Ham just wasn't it. It feels like West Ham are bigger. Oh, West Ham wanted bigger than Graham Potter. I feel like Graham Potter is a very, very good, like, Brentford manager. Or maybe a Leeds manager. Bayern full-time, 6-0, get in there, that's a good result. Michael, West Ham United are playing even worse than what Ipswich Town and Leicester City and Southampton were performing last season. Nick Nack says, I agree, they look terrible. Yeah, it's been a bad night for West Ham. Still 30 minutes or so left to go as well. It could get a whole lot worse. Got to remember that. Life is life. I think Potter is the club version of Southgate. Timbo Slice, Potter went from the best run club to a club in ridiculous transition and then to a club in shambles. Shows a manager needs a good system around him. That's very true, yeah. Very, very true. That's not just a manager, is it? That's players too, you know. You need an environment that is you know, built to thrive and it gives you an opportunity, is set up for success. And that's for players, that's for managers, and that explains why Manchester United have had so many players go there and absolutely shocking at Man United, but then they go other places and all of a sudden they do really, really well. So that's to me the reason why. Chance, hit it! Oh, what a save that is! I tell you what, Robert Sanchez, we've called you some tonight, but you definitely deserve the plaudits there. Fabulous save. I don't know if they've got a corner. I think it's actually gone offside here, but some save that. M15-7, it's Derby's game to score. Genuinely could be 7 or 8. Yeah, really good save that. So what? No, surely not. Derby is still 1-0 down, aren't they? Yeah. Betis 1-0 up, Derby 1-0 down. This is all good. This is fantastic stuff. Gusto going off, Reece James coming on. Some more changes for Chelsea. Is it a Champong coming on this? Or Kukureya's going off. And... oh, it's Hato. Jorrel Hato making his debut. Jorrel Hato. And Chalobah is going off for Fofana. Now, didn't Fofana the other day delete all of his Chelsea, like his stuff off Instagram and stuff like that? I'm sure there was a big thing that he did the other day. Michael, Bayern Munich 6, Leipzig 0. Superstar Potter can go to Sheffield United when they sack Sellers. Again, and yeah, another manager who's really struggling. Arthur Bushby, Michael, good news for us then, Leeds United. Michael, I thought the Sunderland result was a one-off and that the Hammers would at least bounce back. 8 goals conceded in 2 matches. Hey, with half an hour left, Michael, it could get worse. Could be a lot worse. Life is life, says Kilman, Todibo and Agerd just aren't good enough. I look at the back three though, mate, and I don't think they're, like, individually, I don't think they're not good enough. I just think the system doesn't really suit them. Chance for Wilson, great chance. Must be. Hit it! What are you doing? Oh, they couldn't finish the dinner, these. Oh. What was that? Could have walked that in. My mum could have scored that. M15-7, who are you watching? Chelsea, yeah. West Ham 1, Chelsea 5. Arthur Bushby says West Ham are going down. That was my pick earlier this season, so yeah. Nick Nack, why didn't Wilson shoot? Your guess is as good as mine. I've no idea why he didn't shoot there. No idea. AJ Valdez, shocking. They tried to walk it in. And it's, do you know what? And that's a lack of professionalism, that I think. Because if you get in that position, 20 minutes to go, like, admittedly, yeah, you know, you're 4 down at home. But things can change very quickly. Goals change games. You've seen it happen. If they score that, they go and get the ball out the net, they get straight back there. Chelsea have not looked defensively all that solid all night, I don't think. There you go, Nick. That you just said the same. Chelsea not look solid at all defensively. No, I agree. They've been all over the place defensively themselves. So this hasn't really changed my opinion, at least, on how good Chelsea can be this season. They've been pretty poor at the back against an awful West Ham team. Yes, they've scored goals, but let's have it right. This isn't a brilliant performance from Chelsea. This is dreadful from West Ham. Fatboy 007, Bowen needs to leave if he wants to move to the next level in his career. I think that ship's sailed for Jared Bowen. Tom, what's good, Prem Dad? Good to see you, Tom. How's things? You looking forward to Fulham this weekend? Timbo Slice, the bad appointment wasn't Potter, it was Lopetegui. Sacking Moyes for him was the worst decision. Oh, that's a fabulous ball. They're in, Chelsea. This should be 6. It should be... Oh, how did you miss that? Who was that? Estevao again. I know he's only 18, but again, you've got to put that in the net. Should have been 6 there. He is onside. There's nothing wrong with it, but once he gets in, I'll tell you something. Malik Diouf commits far too early there. Defensively, that wasn't very good from Diouf. I expected better from my early pick for Premier League Team of the Year. Hey, there's a lot of angry Evertonians, by the way, even with Diblin potentially coming in. There's plenty of angry Evertonians already having a little pop at David Moyes. I still think my shout for him getting sacked at some point this season might well be on the card, you know. Michael, like you, I support Leeds United so long as the Whites continue to get positive results. Then must hope that Brentford, West Ham United, Wolves and Burnley keep dropping points. Everton as well, trust me. Everton should be in that group, Michael. I promise you they will be. You've just beat Everton. Jacko1 says West Ham and loads of laughing faces. Goodbye, Potter. Taxi for Potter. Taxi for Potter. Tom, I'm good fella. How are you, bro? I am if we can win. We might be signing Lamans. Yeah, good signing. Senna Lamans. Good signing, that. Certainly better than what you've got anyway. He's better than Bayindir, and he's certainly better than Onana. Gaza says West Ham could be in real trouble of getting relegated this season. I agree, mate, yeah. I agree. I think that most people in the chat have been saying the same tonight. Very concerned that West Ham... I mean, to be honest, West Ham fans themselves have been saying this. They have been saying it. They know. They're not alien to this. They've been saying it for a while. Something like this is coming, and... this might be the year that we go, kind of thing. They've been saying it a good while, so it doesn't surprise me, and I don't think it'll surprise them if indeed it does happen. Fatboy 007, Moyes won't go yet, not when giving him crazy money for Diblin. He's desperate for the right back. Desperate for the right back. Desperate probably for a centre mid as well. There was rumours you were getting Ake earlier this week. Did you see that? Everton going for Ake. Can't see you getting Ake. Tom, offload Onana and Bayindir. I'd give Heaton one more game time. Prem proven until we sign Lamans. Jack, did West Ham play better tonight or last week against Sunderland? Probably about the same, to be honest. I think Chelsea have just punished them more in terms of the attacking chances. Sunderland had lots of chances last week, but probably weren't as... well, no, they weren't as clinical as Chelsea. West Ham had one off the line last week. They've had one ruled out here. You know, West Ham haven't been dread. Look, if you'd have told Graham Potter tonight, you'll score 2 goals past these tonight, he'd have hoped for at least a draw, wouldn't he? but his defence have let him down. It's not the West Ham attack. It's been the West Ham defence. Knick-knack, perhaps even Bournemouth. The trapdoor feels a lot more open this season for sure. I think Bournemouth will be fine, especially with the couple of signings they've just brought in. Doak and Adley coming in from Leverkusen. Good signings. Joseph Middleton, 36 points in this game so far. Boom. You're doing well in the FPL, Joseph. Listen, get into the Premier League Dad League. Get yourself into the Premier League Dad League. If you get over to YouTube, search Premier League Dad, you can go, and in the description, you can find the link to our FPL League. Make sure you go and enter your team. We're going to be giving it's free to enter. We're going to be giving competitions through the season. We're going to be giving stuff away and bits and bobs. So, free to enter. Go and get yourself in there. See if you can win the Premier League Dad FPL League. Fafana's gone down there. That was a little bit soft. Jacko1 gives the newly promoted teams a better chance, especially if they can. Well, I think the newly promoted teams is only really Sunderland and at a push Leeds who have a chance. I still look at Burnley and I don't know if you're still in the chat, Reese, but I honestly can't see Burnley staying up. Burnley, I think, are more gone than West Ham are. Reese James coming forward here, plays it over to the far side. Fatboy007, Potter thinks he's an elite manager. All managers do okay at Brighton as it's such a well-run club. Hey, I tell you something, if Potter gets sacked by West Ham, which he will do, when David Moyes goes, Fatboy, I'm calling it, I'm telling you, Potter to Everton. Potter to Everton. That is exactly the sort of person that Everton appoint. Telling you. Exactly the sort of person that Everton appoint. Was once paid for big money by Chelsea to appoint him. A good manager, Potter. Should be England manager. Really good, underrated. Always thought he was good. He was fantastic at Brighton. That's the sort of appointment Everton make. So he might be a follow-up to Moyes. Timbo, as long as Burnley keep a clean sheet for my fantasy this week, they can lose 3-0 every other game. I think Sunderland smash him this week. Tank the player. Imagine 60,000 capacity stadium in the Championship. Hey, St James's Park's been down there. Villa Park's been down there. Been some very decent stadiums in the Championship. Knick-knack, it's so hard to judge Burnley after one game. They showed some good things against Spurs. Whether the promoted team stay up is as much about how the established team struggle as anything else. I agree with that, Knick-knack. Very fair. Joseph Vickers, heard some already saying Chelsea could win the league with this win. Thoughts on that? No chance, Joseph. No chance. Have you watched the game today? That's not me being facetious, by the way. I'm asking. If you watched the game, you would see that Chelsea have looked just as vulnerable defensively. Like the scoreline looks really, really good, but West Ham have had it. West Ham took the lead. They also had a goal disallowed, and Chelsea have padded the scoreline in the second half with 2 quick goals. The game was pretty much over at half time, but West Ham have been fine, in my opinion, anyway. Michael, with the likes of the coaches such as Ange, Sean Dyche, Danny Role available, clubs might be quick to change underperforming coaches. That's very true, yeah. Joseph, I haven't watched it myself. I am on holiday, but heard someone say they looked great. Oh, nice. Enjoy your holiday, mate, wherever you are. Yeah, no, I don't think Chelsea are in any way... There's no way Chelsea win the league with that keeper in goal. And those defenders. Chalobah, Achampong, Tosin Adrabayo, Robert Sanchez in goal. They don't win they don't win it with that. You need a good defence to win a Premier League title. You don't win it with that. D28, where do you think Lookman will end up being contacted by the top 5 Prem teams, as his Inter move has collapsed? Maybe Spurs. Yeah, maybe Spurs. He's been linked with Spurs in the past, hasn't he? Given that Eze has that's fallen through and Savinio doesn't look like it can happen. Maybe Adamola Lookman to Spurs. That might make sense. Knick-knack, transfer window still open. It is, yeah. Still time for these teams to make some big changes. Joseph says, thanks, mate. In Greece at the moment, heat is unbearable. Who do you think is sacked first? Graham Potter, definitely. Yeah, Greece is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. I was in Rhodes a couple of years ago. Absolutely beautiful this time of year. But it is unbearable in terms of the heat. The hottest, I would actually say the hottest I've ever been, certainly on a beach anyway, was Lindos. I went to Lindos in near Rhodes. Oh, it's absolutely the nicest beach I've ever been to. And it was lovely, but it was absolutely boiling. You couldn't get to the sea without like sprinting on the sand, which naturally I am rapid at, so it wasn't even a problem. Candy Zone, hiya Cockle, how do? Oh, Derby 1-1. Derby 1-1 against Bristol City, 86th minute. No. Carl Morris. Morris has scored. Ah. Candy Zone, hiya Cockle, how do? Good to see you, how's it going? Eddie Allen, Chalobah in my fantasy team. Hoggy, West Ham looks shocking. Joseph, I've been to Lindos before. It's absolutely stunning. It is, yeah. The white sort of houses on the cliffs. It's just so gorgeous. It's just dead tranquil, isn't it? It's lovely. But yeah, definitely avoid the sand, and it's very steep going down. So once you've finished, make sure you've got some energy to go back up. It's incredibly steep. Getting back up to the top. Mukhtar, did you say Chelsea would score 4? No, I said Chelsea would score 3. So, yeah, I've been quite considerably wrong. Timbo, I was in Palermo a couple of weeks ago. The heat was insane. Love it. Neto's gone down here holding his knee. This one looks like an innocuous one. Oh, no, it's fine. It's just a knee on knee. It's just one of those where he's maybe... Yeah, just like a dead leg. He's fine. Timbo Slice, James Fofana, Colwill, Cucurella can win the league, but that defence is never all fit at the same time. I think Fofana's kind of fell out with Enzo Maresca, and Colwill, obviously, yeah, he's out for quite a while. Reece James, never fit. Feels to me, at least, yeah, like Chelsea's... Even that defence, I don't think is good enough to win it. But even if they were all fit all season, they're not. That's the problem, innit? Fatboy 007, Leroy Rossini, I'd like to get him a decent job. He's got something about him. Yeah, he's done a wonderful job with Strasbourg, hasn't he? Nick Nack, this is kind of what everyone thought might happen, though. Even the West Ham fans were expecting to get tonked. Yeah, I agree. Totally. Nick Nack, never mind. They've got another 12 wingers in reserve at Chelsea. Yeah, that's true enough. Oh, last 10 minutes here. And the stadium has very nearly emptied. The only ones left will be just annoyed enough to give some boos. Boo at full time. Timbo Slice, Rossini will go to West Ham in October. You think he'll last till October? I think he might be gone tonight. He might at a push get the Carabao Cup game in midweek. They've got Wolves away in the Carabao Cup in midweek. I think he might get that game, and if he loses in that, then it's done. It's absolutely done. But then again, they might sack him tonight and just give the cup game to his assistant and get to work on bringing someone else in. It wouldn't be terribly surprising if they've not already got someone queued up. You know, clubs start doing the due diligence on this stuff. As soon as you start getting vibes that a manager isn't quite on the up and up and the fans are turning on him, you know, you've got to start getting feelers out there for which managers might be interested. And here's Juve. Here's Paqueta. West Ham still pushing forward. No, that's good play by Neto, and he's just bullied him off the ball. That's really good play. TT 5-6. Is it still 5-1? It is, mate. Yes. Nick Nack says they need to get a modern day Desailly or Leboeuf in. Frank Leboeuf. Frank Leboeuf. Who would qualify as a Frank Leboeuf? Do you know who I always thought was a really underrated French centre-half? Philippe Mexes. I loved Mexes. He was great. Ball over to the far post. West Ham with the header. It's gone over from Agard. Excuse me. I'll be honest, the closest thing maybe to a Franck Leboeuf would be from Burnley, Maxime Esteve. Esteve's a young French centre-half with a rising bit of a rising talent, you know, a rising star. Fatboy007 says the worst stadium in the Premier League is the Hammers Ground. It's so poor and a nightmare to get away from. It's also miles away from the bloody pitch, isn't it? You feel like you're miles away from it. Superstar, if it gets to 6, he'll be sacked tonight. Nick Knack says very few fans left in the stadium. Is Big Ange the answer? I heard Forest might be looking at him. Gerard O'Connor saying Big Ange on the way. Big Ange. It feels like there's a lot of good managers out there at the minute. So I don't think West Ham would be short. Do we think... Listen, do we think... We know how badly Xavi wants a job in the Premier League, doesn't he? And a big name like Xavi coming in. I just wonder whether or not a team might be prepared to take a chance on him. Maybe a Forest or a West Ham. That's a foul just outside the area. Yeah, Xavi. Xavi coming in. I know he's wanted a job at in the Premier League for a long, long while, and nobody's really taken a chance on him. Been out of work for a little bit. Nick Knack says this could be a chance for James Ward-Prowse here. I agree, yeah. Just outside the area for Fana, giving it away, a bit sloppy. Timbo Slice, Xavi at West Ham would hurt my brain, wouldn't feel right. M157, keep me updated on Derby. My Fire Stick crashed 5 minutes ago. Will do. Listen, it's 90 plus 4 at the minute, and I've got Bristol City to win. There's only 60 seconds left at Pride Park. Michael, if Potter gets the boot at West Ham, it'll be difficult for him to get another Premier League manager's job again. He only lasted 7 months at Chelsea. A post where he got a £7 million payout from a 3-year contract. He strikes me as an England manager, Graham Potter. Maybe he gets the England job next. Maybe that's the next big thing for him. But Ward-Prowse is over this free kick here. A little consolation maybe for West Ham fans. Ward-Prowse, straight off the head of Andre Santos, I think, and behind. It's going to be a corner. M157 knew it was too good to be true. Timbo Slice says, what are we saying, sorry? No, we've done that one. Fatboy007, I'd love to see Van Gaal come back. He looks so well after cancer and a top manager. Yeah, I'd love to see that too. Timbo Slice, I disagree. I think Potter would manage about 10 mid-table teams before he's finished. Nick Knack, he's miles away from the England job right now. Just feels like the next... I am really, really strong on the England manager should be English. I hate that we've got Thomas Tuchel in there. And listen, I grew up with Sven-Göran Eriksson era. I've no problem necessarily with a foreign manager. I just don't think that's the right way. I think it should be our best against their best. And maybe that's in part why I don't really like watching England, or I don't really respond to England anymore, because it's not our best against their best. It's just not, is it? It's it's a lot of players who, should have played for Ireland, but it's actually I prefer playing for England. I can switch, I can change. It's fine. And we've got a German as our manager. Yeah, it just feels like a bit mad. Cesc Fabregas at Como would be a manager that could be tempted to the Premier League. He's doing a good job as a fairly new coach. He is, yeah. Doing very well. And they're getting the team picked apart at the minute, aren't they? Nico Paz. Could be a claim for a penalty here from Chelsea. They don't think you're going to get that Unless it's absolutely nailed on, they're not going to take... They're going to take a bit of pity on West Ham here, I would imagine. But it was a claim against the Gerd. Let's see. Oh, that was handball. That would have been handball with anyone else. Again, it's not the type of handball that I want to see, but that would have been a handball. Boys, clips page. What a night to triple captain João Pedro. Have you triple captained him? Well done. Well done, you. Here's Neto. Swung in near post. Last couple of minutes here. Josh says not optimistic for the World Cup next year. Honestly, I don't like Tuchel. I don't like him as a manager anyway, but I would never have picked him as England manager. 72 points on game week 1, mate. That's up to 1 game near enough on 2 Chelsea players. Wow. Nice. Good work. Well done. Calendar Red says City Spurs prediction. I have gone for City 3-1 against Spurs. Derby have drawn with Bristol City 1-1. Not the end of the world, that one. I thought Bristol City would get a win, but yeah, draw's not the end of the world. Here's Neto coming forward. Big chance. Well done, Agurd. Good defending. Jamie Football, who do you support? I'm a Liverpool fan, mate. Nick Nack says 3-0 City. Michael, the England women's coach is Dutch and they've had their best ever period as a national team. So a foreign coach can work so long as they understand the English culture. It's not necessarily that they can't work. I wouldn't have an issue with him. I would have the same issue, Michael, for what it's worth. I would have the same issue if we won the World Cup and the Euros. I would still say I want an English manager. Because I think it should be our best against their best. I think that's the purpose of a World Cup. Or at least that's what makes a World Cup interesting, in my opinion. It kind of takes the edge off if you've got a German coach and a couple of Irish players who've just switched codes because they wanted to play in the World Cup. I don't know. To each their own, I guess. But that's not really my thing. Calendar Red, they haven't beat Spurs at home for a good few years. I don't know, but Spurs have always had their number, haven't they? High Tingle will be gone soon. Was a bizarre choice as him. Jamie says, I'm a Leeds fan, mate. Nice. Darren Doherty, I've got a theory for you. Go on, what's your theory? Fire away, Darren. Jamie, what do you think about Nuno apparently getting sacked from Forest? I think he will, yeah. I don't think it's him and Marinakis that have fell out. It seems to be him and Edu that have fallen out. And it just doesn't look like it can be sorted and made up. So, hey ho. But it's full time here. It's 5-1. (5-1) to Chelsea. Darren, most underrated, undervalued footballer in the last 25 years, Juan Roman Riquelme. He was a good player, but I don't think he would ever fall into that category, in my opinion. Yeah, he was a very good player, though. Jamie Football, the thing is, Nuno brought that team out the slumps and got them Europe. Yeah, and he's done well, but inevitably he's fallen out with, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, and if your manager is expecting something of you and you don't deliver it, then inevitably, it's you can't really be too disagreeable, let's say. Otherwise, you always run the risk of this stuff. Nick Nack, ridiculous decision by Forest. Nuno's tactics suited the players perfectly. Yeah, agreed. Have they actually sacked him? Or is it just the case of he might be sacked? It might well be that it gets rolled back. Maybe they can sort it out. Darren, thank you for the follow, by the way. Listen, I am back tomorrow morning. I'm back at about 11 o'clock. It's an early one tomorrow. We're back for Spurs against City at the Etihad Stadium. So if you're joining me tomorrow, make sure you've given us a like, make sure you give us a live, all that good stuff. And I will see you all tomorrow morning. City and Spurs. Big day tomorrow, Fatboy 007. We're back for 3 games tomorrow. City, Spurs. Then straight after that, Burnley against Sunderland, and then Arsenal against Leeds at 5:30. So we'll have loads of good football tomorrow. I'm live from about 11 o'clock all the way through to about 8 o'clock. So loads and loads of footy, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning. Have a lovely night. Take it easy.